What's good, Chin?
Yo.
Yo. How do you say? I need to pick a new phrase. How's the world treating you? That's a good one.
What about you fucked it now?
I don't think I would use that one very much at school. That doesn't seem like a good thing to say at school.
Hey, Mr. P. Hey, you fucked it now.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's a toothpick. I got all kinds of shit down here in this keyboard tray. I should clean that out. That's nasty.
James Bevan is in the chat.
What up, James
Sup,
Bevan?
fellas?
In the chat?
Hi, James Bevan.
Yo, yo, yo.
Waiting on the man himself.
Who else are we ever waiting on? Are they like? Okay, I cleaned out my keyboard.
Just to fill you in very quickly before he comes in, he beat me at pool on this pool VR game, and he's never going to shut up about it now.
Of course.
And he's going to snub my negative comments about the game because I lost. Okay, just be ready for that.
Okay, close that. Do that. Yeah. Now the question is, am I going to grade some papers during this show? Maybe. I finished one class's stack today, so that felt good.
We watched the documentary.
Which one?
Trial 4.
Trial 4. I don't know.
It's the story about Sean Ellis.
Okay. Trial 4. Netflix. Charged as a teen in the 1993 killing of a Boston cop. Police corruption. Cool. That sounds good. It's on Netflix, huh?
Yeah. It's a little bit long-winded.
Wow.
They go into the family of his solicitor. I'm like, do they need to really do I need to know the background of the solicitor? But you know, it's still
hello.
Cool. Hello.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You fucked it now.
I'm eating lentil bites tonight. These are healthy, I guess.
Oh, you fucked it now with that.
You fucked it now.
Oh, that's right. I brought this cardboard home because the Duchess might want it. She's crazy about cardboard, don't you know?
You fucked it now.
You fucked it now.
We've got Kaplisakingo in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Thank goodness they're here.
Fun.
Does he now?
Yeah.
Does he?
He says,
are you sure?
Fun.fyl.
Oh, yeah, FYI. What's that? Oh, there's a Russian person. Yeah, they're probably trying to sell us things. Or get us to cheat in Call of Duty. That's what the Russians do.
All of them.
Every game, there's some.
Every Russian is cheating.
Servers. Yeah.
How dare you stereotype? How dare you paint them with such a broad brush?
Of course I am, because I'm a Jew.
I'm American, just say.
Soul brother number one. Hello, where did it come from? Good question, James Bevan.
No, it's not.
It came from the cartoon series Double.
God. No one knows what it is.
That's okay. So I show my students every semester, and once in a while, after I show them that, some of them come into class and they're like, "Hello," and I'm like, "Yes." So it's all about helping people get the taste of it.
Okay.
Hi, Grandma. Here, I'll put the link in the chat so you can find out, James Bevan. If you really want to watch it, click that. I can't believe I'm linking a Disney thing. Whoa, look at that bright light I just let in. Ugh, all that sun. I mean, it's not really sun. It's more of a gray sky, but it's bouncing off the snow, so it seems like it's brightness. Don't you know?
Oh, don't you know?
Yeah.
Don't ya?
Are we ready to start?
I think so.
I was born
Chinny,
ready.
Are you ready to start?
I was born ready.
He is ready.
We're all
Let's start the
ready, baby.
motherfucking show, bitch.
Let's do this. We done fucked it now.
Welcome yo to the veteran
So, ain't you guys gonna ask me about my hat?
Please
don't touch my floppy cock.
Stew story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with soundbite saviors.
Yesterday was the birthday of legendary Dutch flautist Frans Blumheim. Yesterday was the birthday of legendary Dutch flautist Frans Blumheim. Yesterday was the birthday of legendary Dutch flautist Frans Blumheim.
I do not have a problem. If I want to play Crazy Cupcakes, I will play Crazy Cupcakes. Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Welcome, please, Enormous Genitals.
It's episode 630 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Wait a minute.
Whoa,
That's
whoa.
like the first time in 600
What the
episodes
hell?
you've not said hello and welcome to
I
the
know.
Veteran
I thought that was
Gamers
genuine.
podcast. Why you gotta do things differently?
No,
Not
Stu.
okay,
Look,
Stuart. Let's try this again.
Oh, God, do I have to?
I'm just kidding. Yes, welcome everybody. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
It's Chinny. What was that?
And we are not military veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
You
Well,
know,
Tito. Sorry,
Stu,
I was
you
going to
can't
say.
try new things.
Now everything. We're just gonna start with shout outs this week, people, because apparently
Right.
everything's all topsy-turvy.
Shout out to Jacinta and
Woo,
Mr.
Jacinta.
Steve.
Just
My
enter.
name is Jacinta.
Yeah.
Good night. Thanks for
Good
listening.
night, everyone.
But yeah, I knew it was going to throw you. I thought I'm going to do something
Yeah.
different.
Oh, it was
What?
premeditated chaos.
It was.
Oh,
It's
my
episode
God.
630.
I can't tell what's going on.
It's 9 o'clock. It's Sunday in the UK. That's Veteran Gamers time.
I like that. That's good. I might do that next week.
Yes.
Oh, dude, that made me laugh.
Yeah,
Wow,
you
it-
done
it is
fucked it
funny.
now.
I'm
is funny.
Stu. I'm joined by Duke and Chinny. And you know what time it is. It's story time.
It's like
Is it already story time? I
it's-
thought you were
no,
gonna
it's
have
like-
My favorite time.
doing?
It's story time. Story
It's
time.
like in the Wayne's World movie when they sell out and like they've got all like
Oh,
they've got
yeah,
money
yeah.
behind their show. They go,
Right,
It's party on Wayne, party on Garth.
and they're all freaked
Yeah.
out. They don't know what to do.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we
that
haven't
takes
got any
place
money, by
in
the way.
Wisconsin because it's all about Milwaukee.
Yeah,
Milwaukee. Alice Cooper gives the lesson about where the name comes from.
yeah.
Although,
We're not
although,
worthy.
that
Yes,
being
Stu.
said, I have got
That
a
being
phone
said.
call tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
You have a
I
phone
don't even know
call
what this is
tomorrow?
going. I think Chinny's right, but I thought, you know what? Let's just see what she wants. Let's just see what she wants. But we were contacted by a
Oh, that's
lady.
scam.
Well, it's not like the
Of course, it's a scam. No, it's Chinny. You know how we know it's not a scam? She has a LinkedIn profile.
No, she's
so, I
gonna
mean,
she's gonna phone us. She's gonna phone me. I
she's
mean,
gonna
scammers
phone
don't
you.
normally
Oh,
phone me.
it is perfectly
Well, randomly.
legitimate.
Jesus
But we'll
Christ.
see.
Good
We'll
afternoon.
see. She does work for this. I've checked her out. She does work for iHeartMedia. So I was like, let's check
Well,
her out.
iHeartMedia, that didn't sound scammy at
As
all.
soon as she figures out what a kind of fucking joke we are,
I know.
she's
That's what I
hanging
thought.
that
Let's
up.
We've got
see
7
what she wants.
listeners.
Let's see what she wants. I'm only doing it.
Unbelievable.
I'm doing it on Google Meetings. So,
So
I'm
do
not
you
having-
know?
I'm not
Do you know Joe
actually-
Rogan?
Joe Rogan.
know
I'm
Joe-
not
We're the
actually
reason Spotify still exists, yo.
Exactly. I haven't given her my phone number or any of that malarkey.
Not
but I
yet.
thought- not yet, I haven't.
Not
So I
yet.
thought, let's see what happens. So I'm
Bank
speaking to her
account
tomorrow
details
evening.
and sort code.
Tomorrow evening. So we're going to speak to this lady
You fool.
and see what she's all about. Well, I
Promise
thought,
her
why
nothing. What could she possibly want from us?
What
I have
do we?
no
what
idea.
do we want from her?
Nothing
Spreaker,
and
I have-
nothing.
yeah,
Well,
Spreaker
she
is a
might want
thing.
things from us, but she's not going to get them. There's nothing.
it's-
what,
yeah,
she
but
go
she
and get
might-
some of that
I was
Patreon
gonna-
money?
I thought we should get, we could get a bit of promotion in America. Who knows? So we'll see what happens. Who cares?
At what cost?
I don't know. She hasn't mentioned cash. Normally, they mention that up front,
Oh,
don't they?
yeah, that's not going to come till later.
So-
Duke's in
so we'll see
America.
what-
He can hand out.
By the
some
way,
flyers.
you owe me
She'll see.
$500,000 for my promotional services.
We'll see what she says. We'll see what she
Duke's
says.
in
You never
America.
know.
He can hand out flyers.
Yeah, he can. Let's do
I
that.
do. What do you mean can? I'm doing that
But-
every week,
No, about the show.
every Thursday night.
You can
Yeah.
hand out fun little idiots
Flyers.
Is it a veteran?
from the
Yeah,
show.
flyers.
Right.
But talking of cash, right? I got very excited this week
Why?
Oh yeah. Why is that?
because this is a cash thing. This is a cash thing, right? I got an email from Twitch,
Oh yeah.
and
Ooh.
it said,
That's
you
rare. How
have-
many people get those?
Stu,
have-
whatever you're gonna say, I'm gonna quit my job in anticipation. Because
Exactly.
I think we've made it.
it said, you have earned your first revenue.
All right. What we
Right.
got,
Oh
Stu?
snap! We earned some revenue.
No. No, it's on my Twitch. Nothing to,
Ah.
to do with the show.
You
So your
fucked us.
DJing is what earned the revenue.
My personal.
Ah,
So
you
I'm like,
fucked us.
oh my god, I'm excited. How much money have I
Balling.
earned? How much money have I
Yeah.
earned?
Yeah.
So I raced into the conservatory and I turned my PC on and I logged
Yeah.
into my Twitch account. I was
yeah.
so excited. I'm like,
Ka-ching.
oh my god, I've earned some money off Twitch, and I'd earned $4.28.
Yeah.
But
Well, you say that like it's not important. I'll take it if you don't want it.
here's the thing, right? I
What's the
can't
thing, right?
get it until I reach $100.
Correct.
Well, of course.
So in total, though, by the way, in total, I've got $49. So I'm halfway there.
So it only took you 7 years to get
Yeah.
to $49, and
yeah.
another 7 years from now, you'll be at a cool
You
100.
never know. You never
Or as
know.
the kids say, hundo.
So yeah, I've only got to earn another $51, and I'm in the money, man. I'm going to be rolling in it. I'm going to hit the big time. I'm going to give up my
Yes.
job, and I'm going to do a Twitch stream
Twitch
once every
full time,
3
man.
years.
That's right.
Yeah, once every 3 years, I'll do a stream
Yeah.
just to keep
You
them
and Joe
hungry. You know?
Rogan.
So
I'll tell you, you'll be hungry. Your wife when you can't
Yeah, she will.
buy any food.
no, because I'm relying on my $100 from Twitch to
Stu,
support my
please
family.
just get your job back.
No, yeah.
I'm sick of sucking out the nutrients out the
Uh,
carpet.
Yeah, I'm going doing that bin surf. What do you call that? Bin surfing, where you go and get your meals out the bin. I don't know. What is it?
Dumpster diving.
Dumpster diving. There you go. I was
hold on,
close.
Hold on.
There you
Wait a
go.
minute. I was just going to make fun of Stu going, you just say that like everybody knew it and then didn't do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Now I'm the idiot that doesn't know about surfing in bins.
Yeah, well, I don't know what
Well,
to
I
tell
said
you.
bin surfing.
Mr.
It's
Posh.
dumpster-
Oh, I've never even heard of going into a dumpster for food.
dumpster diving. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing when
Yes.
I'm earning my living off Twitch.
Right.
Anyway,
Yes,
so we'll see
well.
what happens. We'll see what happens. You never know.
We'll
One
see
day
what
I might earn
happens.
some actual, real, hard cash.
Let me tell you something, people. Amazon, the Duchess ordered us some N95 masks off of there. That was good, so we have better
I thought
protection.
that was a machine.
And yeah, and then
Nice.
since she had to sign up for Prime for like a trial thing, we were like, well, let's see what video stuff is on there
Oh yeah.
before it expires in like a week. And so we binge watched the show As We See It, which is a really good program about autistic folks, and it's really well done, very funny, but also heartbreaking, and just really well done. So I can't recommend it enough, people. If you have
How-
Amazon,
How long have you got left?
I don't know, like 1 or 2 days. We're not
Uh,
watching nothing else because we don't want to get started.
I was gonna suggest The Amazing Mrs. Maisel, which is
Nope.
amazing. It's
Not
really,
watching.
really good.
We did watch the first episode, however, which is all that's out right now, of The Gilded Age, which is on HBO, because it was written and directed by Julian Fellows, who also did Downton Abbey and Gosford Park. So he knows how to tell a story, and it's off to a good start. I'm liking it.
Ah well, never mind.
So there you go. There's our TV
Never
recommendations of the week from Chipmunk Hill.
mind. Chipmunk Hill.
Yeah.
So have you guys done anything else this week, or is that kind of it?
I watched
Got it.
Brought my
Ronnie
typewriter into
O'Sullivan.
class.
I watched Ronnie O'Sullivan
Oh, yeah?
live last night
Oh,
That's cool.
in the
That's
flesh.
cool.
I met him.
I know. Yeah, you went.
How was
You
that?
were telling me today, weren't you?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Well, like I was sort of accidentally in the queue to meet him because
You thought it was the cue for the loo, and you were,
no,
oh,
well, like
yeah.
my mate was in there and I hadn't seen him for a while, and I was like, "Oh, you're right, Alan." And I was like, "Well, I'm in the queue now. I feel bad, right?" So I kind of just carried on.
Oh, I don't want to meet you. I was just talking to my mate.
And you
Fuck
can
off, Ronnie
before you meet
O'Sullivan.
him, there's merch, obviously.
yeah.
And basically just a bunch of shit that he can sign. So you buy one of those things, and then he signs it. So I bought a little snooker ball, and he signed it for me.
Nice.
And we watched him play. And a friend of mine played him, and he had 2 shots and got battered and knocked a century against him. So
So was he chatty?
he's not very chatty, Ronnie.
Was he not chatty?
No, not really. There was a woman there, bless her, who was very. She was quite disabled. Let's put it like that. She had a walking stick, but her daughters bought her a frame with Ronnie for her birthday, and she could hardly hold a snooker cue.
Oh,
to be fair.
bless her.
But Ronnie took it in good taste, and it was a bit of a laugh. And John Virgo was there
He's
as
got to
well.
be used to that, huh?
John Virgo was sort of comparing, so he was making it funny, and then Michaela Tab, who's the first female referee, was there as well. And yeah, so but he was talking to her quite a bit, but he was friendly enough. But he wasn't. Ronnie's not like that really.
I mean, when you got a queue of how many people were 50 in the queue?
There's about 180 people there, so. Yeah.
You gotta know that it's like he can't talk to many people. For
and he's
very long.
out
It's
the
just
door as soon as
get
he's
him
done.
through, get him
He's
through,
fucking
of course.
out. He's
Yeah.
done. He's
How long was he there? 2 hours?
He was probably about 2.5 hours, and they're there's a break in the middle. But like his manager speaks at the start and says like, in the interval, he plays 4 frames and then he has an interval. And he said even if you don't want anything signed, if you just want to queue up and just say hello to him, but you can't shake his hand because of COVID, but you can bump his fist, is what they were saying, if you want to do that.
That's cool.
But if you want to take a selfie, like stay on the other side of the desk because we need him to sort of be kind of COVID safe if we can. So, but I just
so you didn't go up and give him a big hug then?
No, but the lady who I mentioned she gave him a hug and a kiss though. But she
She was safe. It was fine. She was safe.
She was a very big Ronnie fan. She had a hat on saying Ronnie, and t-shirts and everything. So she bless her.
So let me ask you this: were people drinking booze, and was Ronnie under the impression that it was a work event?
That's a good question.
No.
I'm keeping up with the UK politics. You're welcome.
So that was fun, and I got a signed snooker ball from Ronnie, so that was nice,
cool.
and watched him play, and to watch the GOAT of the sport that you love to play is a treat, really. And as I said, my mate played him and had 2 shots, so and what can you?
So
do?
how much? I'm going to ask, how much did it cost to go and see Ronnie? Then was it cheap?
It isn't cheap. But I suppose if you compare it to other sports, if you compared it to like a ticket for a game of like to watch a match these days, or to be so close to if you was a big tennis fan, to be so close to Roger Federer and meet him, it's cheap. Because it was £75 a ticket.
No, that's all right. Do it for a meet and greet as well.
Yeah, you can get something signed. And I did have to buy the snooker ball, which was a tenner, which is a bit of a rip off. But what are you gonna do?
You should have taken your own.
I know.
I brought this from my local club.
I should have made him sign.
No, you can't bring in outside sports equipment. What are you talking about? This is assist. That's rude of you.
I should have made him sign my own balls. And then
sign these balls.
The merch guy said that somebody did make him sign a bra like the day before or something. So I don't know.
Yeah.
The ladies do go crazy for Ronnie for some reason. But so it was £75 to go and turn up, and it was £300 if you wanted to play him, and he had 8 frames. So I don't know.
Well, just a minute. Whoa. Mm-hmm. So your mate paid £300 to play a frame of snooker with him?
Yeah.
What a dick.
Well.
Whatever. If you could cook with your favorite chef, man.
No, I wouldn't.
There was a spare.
Then you don't love anything enough.
The day before,
you don't have the love of the thing.
The day before, he texted me saying the guy who's running the whole event has just told him that there's a spare ticket to play Ronnie going.
I bet he said that to about 20 people.
No.
We have only one left.
Somebody pulled out. Somebody had pulled out, and he offered it to me. He was like, "Oh, would you do it, Mike?" I was like, I think 300 kids is just a little too much. If it was like 150 or 200, maybe I'd do
Might have done it.
But you only get 2 shots and then you just sit down because he just knocks in 100 anyway. So
so he does. It's not even like he gives you a bit of a go, is it? It's not like, go on, have a couple of shots, lad.
Some of the one guy went up and his ice break was 29, right? So like, I feel like the better players, because they say their ice break. My mate's ice break is 140, right? So he says, "Oh, this Steve, his highest break's 140," and then he tries harder against those players because he knows they can play. So he batters those.
Imagine how humiliating it would be if he lost to him.
Well, somebody has beat Ronnie in an expo like that.
Oh, wow.
Somebody knocked in a century against him. I wasn't there for that one.
Take
but
that, Ronnie.
It does happen. When I played Matthew Stevens, I had 2 shots against Matthew Stevens. He battered me, but there's a guy called Dan Ward who's a fantastic player, and he battered Matthew Stevens. So it can happen. I mean, the thing about snooker, one frame snooker is basically like for some
sometimes
some levels it's a coin toss. You know what I mean? So like, I could play Stu 100 times. I could probably beat him 99, Right.
No, you beat me 100 times.
But one of those he'll beat me. Like, you know, it's just the sort of way
Yeah, right.
snooker is.
I don't know. It seems unlikely that Stu would beat you at anything involving pool. But...
Well, we'll
Yeah,
discuss
that would
later.
seem unlikely.
We'll discuss
Seem
that later. won't we,
unlikely.
Stu?
But the other,
Yeah, we
but
will.
the flip side of it, you know, Stu, you said you never pay that much, but you got to think about it in terms of something that you love that much. Like if it were me with video games, like imagine playing a video game with David Cage. That would be so awesome.
You'd pay $1,000.
Then I could strangle him to death and then be like, "Woo, we're having fun playing this game."
At the end of it all, it's all about experiences, isn't it? And
Exactly.
It's, if you can afford to do it, then I encourage. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a bit expensive to play him, but also I was, as soon as he texted me, my instant reaction was like, "Fuck that! No, I don't want to do it. I'm too nervous."
think
But
to
when
an
I was
extent,
there,
no.
when I was there, I was like, actually, I could have done it because the guy who
See, that's
who
the
ran
thing. I gotta get in the building.
Yeah.
the guy who ran the event ended up playing him because he couldn't sell the ticket. And he's a good player anyway, the guy who runs it. But yeah, I was thinking about, because I knew a lot of people that were there anyway, and I was like, actually, I don't think I would have been that nervous. So I could have done it, but I feel like if it was 100 quid cheaper, I probably would have done it. But
To be fair, right, and I know I said your mate's a bit of a dick for paying 300 quid to play him, but you're not going to get much of a chance to do that again, are you? I guess.
No. I mean, he is without a doubt the greatest snooker player that's ever
Yeah,
lived.
definitely.
Right. So
Definitely
So
is.
who wouldn't want to do that? You know, who wouldn't want?
No, I agree. I mean, it's a lot of money. I've got to say, it's a lot of money.
But
But it is a cool thing you
it's a
can
cool
say you
thing,
did.
yeah. You're making me regret that I didn't do it.
You know, I think if you're a massive snooker fan, if you get the opportunity,
Yeah.
you should just do it.
To be honest, Stu, he'll probably come round again and do it at some point.
Next week,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
all right, 150.
Yeah,
All right, 75.
yeah.
I want a splash for $2.
Yeah.
Well,
mean,
it's like
that's
I
the
remember
thing.
seeing 50 Cent came through the town where I teach. He was at the supermarket selling vodka. And I'm like, really? 50 Cent? Like, damn, how far they have fallen. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, look at Snoop Dogg. He advertises Just Eat in the UK.
I know. He advertised everything, but that's a little different because he's just on TV. All he has to do is go to the studio and record like a 30-second spot. This dude had to travel to Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. I mean, I'm sorry. I love Sun Prairie, but dude, if you're an international hip-hop superstar, to be going to a supermarket selling your vodka, that's kind of sad.
No, I've got to stop you there, Duke, right? To be fair to Snoop Dogg, he does do a bit of a rap and stuff. He's written raps for these adverts.
Well, no, somebody's written them for him. Come on, be real.
Well, maybe, but he does a rap as well. He's not just, he's not just sat there. He does a
Yeah,
bit
but
of
I'm
a
saying, though, that
rap
takes like an
and a bit
hour
of
at the
this.
most.
It was big news when
And he gets fat paid.
It was big news when Tom Cruise filmed his last Mission Impossible movie in Birmingham, because there was a John Lewis in the middle of Birmingham, which is a big fancy store, Duke. I don't know if you get them over there. And basically it closed down, so it was an empty, massive building by the train station, and they converted it to look like an airport in Iraq or Iran or something, which they do, these Hollywood types. And Tom Cruise filmed a lot of his movie there. And he was seen sort of coming out of an Indian restaurant, and then there's a story about Tom Cruise where, as you do, you have to land your helicopter in an emergency, and he landed it in somebody's garden in Birmingham, and the family came out and was like, "Oh my God, Tom Cruise just landed in our garden." And as a treat, he took the daughter up in the helicopter and flew around, and
Oh, snap.
so that's
And he
nice.
talked to her about the benefits of Dianetics and all the things she could learn about
She came
herself.
back down
Pretty
and
cool.
she
learned from L. Ron Hubbard
She was talking about aliens being dropping humans here, and so I don't know what's going on.
in a big volcano.
Yeah, but so I
Do you
think
know what, though?
Rio Ferdinand was it? No, Rio. What's his name? Isn't that a footballer?
Yes, Rio Ferdinand is a footballer.
Isn't he? Did he play for Man U? And he's that guy? Is he that guy?
I think so, yes.
We will get to video games soon, people. Don't worry.
So Rio Ferdinand was like
Video game
spotted
podcast.
in like Tesco or something in Wolverhampton or something like that. And apparently who lives,
Like eating grapes and like
who apparently lives in Wolverhampton. This is going to blow your mind.
I'll go on.
And
Margaret Thatcher.
right, so just think about who is one of the most famous singers in the world, and it's a sibling
Celine
of that
Dion.
person.
Wait a minute, say again. It's famous singers of the world.
Sibling of one of the most
Well,
famous
no,
singers in the
sibling.
world.
What's the
Is
sibling?
it Nicki Minaj's cousin's testicles?
No, one of the most
Is it-
famous singers that
Is
ever,
it is it Adele's brother?
No, so he's dead. Clue, it's a he, and he's dead. Right.
David Bowie.
And his brother lives
George
in Wolves.
George Michael's brother.
More famous than that.
Well, who's more
Paul
famous than
McCartney's
George
brother.
Michael?
Who's more famous than George Michael?
John Lennon.
No, more famous.
More famous than John
well,
Lennon?
The only
Are you
people more famous than
mental?
them is Jesus.
Yeah,
More
Jesus'
fam-
brother.
Rocket Man, Elton John.
No. Like
More famous?
like one of the most famous.
Elvis's brother.
No, Jackson. That's right.
Oh,
Jeff
Michael
Slab in
Jackson.
the chat. Michael Jackson's brother Tito apparently lives in
Really?
Wolverhampton.
Tito
That's-
Jackson lives in
and
Wolverhampton?
this I would be like, this is bollocks, but actually he's been seen.
You looked him up in the phone
He's
book.
been seen in like Sainsbury's a few times, and also
Wow.
Wolverhampton had a festival, and he was there, and I was like, why
Huh.
is Tito Jackson? But because someone says, oh, he lives here, and I was like, well, that would make more sense. Because then, like, it's just
He
down
has
the road.
done a lot of British telly, so I'm guessing he possibly does live in the UK.
Yeah, and apparently he lives very close to here for some crazy reason. I don't know
Well, who
Well,
knew?
the Wikipedia picture of him is from London. So, I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
but like,
hey.
I mean, in America, if you just say England, everybody just assumes it's London. Anyway.
Yeah, they do.
I'm
Anyway.
just curious. I don't know nothing about Tito Jackson. I just know that our dog's name is Tito. So anytime this name comes up, it's like, hey,
Well, I assume that's who you named your dog after.
we didn't name him at all. He had that name when we got him from the pound.
That's probably who they named it after.
Maybe. Or it could be Tito.
I always
Quintain.
assumed it was. I thought, oh, I must
Or
name the
the
dog after Tito Jackson.
Yugoslavian dictator.
Possibly. Who knew?
You never know.
Who knew?
Solo work and other projects. Did Tito Jackson have solo works? Okay.
They probably
Yeah,
all
it
do.
was
Really? He had
some-
a single with Big Daddy Kane. How about that?
Look on his Wikipedia page. It says Tito is a fan of Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club.
Well, he must
That's
have
right.
done
It
that,
does
mustn't
say
he?
that. Whoa. And he has 8 grandchildren. Oh my god. And he had an album called Tito Time.
Of course he did.
All right. Enough with the Jackson 5. Let's
We
talk
know
about some video games.
We
Where are
know.
you going? Your time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
Sorry, you had something, Chinny?
We
you
know
need to
what we're
say?
going to name this episode. It's going to be just the
Yeah.
Tito Jackson dedication episode or something.
You done fuck this up.
Dedicated to Tito.
Yeah.
What you been
Yeah, me
playing?
too.
Yeah. Is that it? We're done. Is that the end of the show?
No,
Something.
we're talking
Oh,
about
we're
video
now
games.
done.
I'm
Sorry.
Going, I'm going first.
Go.
I am
Okay.
so close to being done with all the Mahjong game types because Chinny downloaded this game last
Oh
week.
yeah,
And
and I've definitely played it
you've been
since.
playing through the. What? Yeah, right. Well, maybe they've got, as I said last time, they got like 72 different board types that they'll put the tiles in, and I got like 3 left, so I'm gonna be done by next week, y'all. But I also wanted one for my phone, so I downloaded a Mahjong. First of all, goddamn, why? I really would like to pay the developer $5 and not have these ads every 5 seconds, but you can't do that. They have this, the one I got for my phone. It'll do this thing where you can like buy 6 months worth of no ads, but you can't just buy it and have it done. I'm like, oh, I hate this model. But anyway, one thing that you can do on the phone app that you can't do in that game from Steam is shuffle the tiles, right? As you may have noticed, Chenny, if you fail, you fail. It's just you start over.
It's over.
So that's kind of frustrating. But
Over.
that's not the thing I've been playing most this week. The thing I've been playing most this week is No Man's Sky.
Oh man, you've gone down
Yeah.
the rabbit hole.
Still in it. And the last time, it's funny because I always start over when I start a new, I start playing it again. And the last time I played it, I played for 15 hours. And so this time I was looking at, every time I loaded up my game, I'd be like, okay, how far am I? Like comparing it to the other one. I've gone past that now. I'm at 20 hours in this version now. So like, I'm in it. And yeah, I realize that it's kind of Skyrim-ish in that there's stuff to do, but it's also just fun to explore, right? And
Yeah.
a lot of games, they're not fun to explore. You have quests and you want to do those quests, but exploring, I don't know, for me, exploring is only worthwhile if you have confidence that you're going to find something worth exploring, So in this game, there's just enough stuff, variety out there to make it worth exploring. And I've actually got a ship now that can fight against it used to be when I started up the game and I would go flying around and then get attacked, I would always be like, oh shit, I'm out of here, and I just run away. But now I've got my ship set up with good shields. I've got a good attack cannon. I've got rocket launchers I can lock on the people with. Y'all are in trouble if you're trying to fuck with me. Let me tell you what.
Wow.
That feels good.
It's a bit strong.
Well, you shouldn't. Don't start none, won't be none.
Can you not be a pacifist in the universe?
Sure, you can run away every time, like I said. But I don't do that anymore because I have weaponry to defend myself now. As Lauryn Hill said, understand El Boogie non-violent, but if a thing test me, I run for me gun. Can't take a threat to me newborn son. Now, I don't have a newborn son in my video game, but nevertheless.
I would have said, dude, though, that's at odds with your personal beliefs.
Well, of course
What
it is.
I know
Every video
about it.
game is, most video games are at odds with that. You play Call of Duty, Rocket League. Like, I guess Rocket League isn't a violent game, but you do explode people sometimes. That's against my personal beliefs.
I guess.
So
I guess.
there is my IRL morality over here, and then there's my video game morality over here. And, you know, they're very different things, no doubt.
Yeah.
So
I think it's
for the
true to
most part,
say.
I do play this game, and I don't go looking for fights. But you know, don't, like I said, don't start none, won't be none. You come at me, we gonna fight. I've come to realize, however, that the biggest shortcoming of this game is that there is no place you can go to buy ships.
Right.
You have
There's
to
not like
wander
ships
around.
are us.
No, you have to wander around and you come across
Stalled.
aliens who have better ships than yours, and you have to go up to them and like
Cool
make
ship.
them an offer on their ship.
Oh, so there's a bit of
So-
trading. Bit of trading.
You do have to bid a trade, but it's all luck. Like it's procedurally generated. Like which ships are going to appear, and
Yo,
so if you're looking
cool
for a better
ship, bro. Is it for
yeah,
sale?
like a lot. Like you look on the internet, like you know Reddit threads, like how do you find a better ship? And they're like, well, you find a trading post and you hang out there, and you can just wait for people to come and go, which I did for a while. Like I spent about an hour yesterday just watching ships come and go,
You need to log
hoping
on
that a better
to
ship would show up.
rightship.com and
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
you know.
But then someone said, okay, go to the trading post and save as soon as you get there by jumping out of your ship. Every time you leave your ship, it saves. But as soon as you get there, you save, because when you get there, it'll spawn in a whole bunch of ships to land near you, so that you have like your pick, you know.
That's
thing.
the sound
And
of the
then
ship
they said,
spawning in.
right, it's great. Well, they don't spawn; they land. You know, whatever. Anyway, so that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But if you don't like any of the ships that land, you just reload your save, and then it'll, you know.
Yeah, and it's
procedurally
totally
generate.
random, so you'll get
It's totally
new
random.
ones every time.
Not totally, because the further along you are, there's certain space star systems where you know it takes a different kind of drive to get there. I think I mentioned that last week, and so you have presumably better ships when you get into those systems or whatever. But anyway, the funny thing is, I bought a ship that I was looking for something that had more space in it, because the ship I had like 15 slots. And once you put in all your weapons and stuff, that's like 10 slots. So I had like 5 slots for the gold and platinum that I found, and I'm like, I'm running out
Yeah.
of room all the time. This
Cargo,
sucks.
man. How the hell are
Right.
you going to carry it?
So I found one that had 30 slots. Oh no, it had 25 slots. And I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And I bought it, and it was like half my money. I had like 10 million. It was 5 million. I was like, that's pretty expensive, but whatever, it's okay. And then, like, I went to 2 more space stations, and suddenly there was this dude who had, and it was the thing that I had bought was like a hauler, which doesn't have much attack capacity, right? It can't do a lot of damage when it attacks other ships. So I was like, well, this kind of sucks, but I did want slots, so I guess it's a trade-off, right? But then I went to this other space station, and I found this attack ship, this fighter, that had like 30 slots in it. I was like, yeah!
Oh, no.
So as soon as I stopped looking, the ship I wanted appeared. And I was like, that's crazy.
Did you have the cash for it at that point?
I did, because
that
I
lucky.
was able to trade in that ship I had just bought,
Ah,
cover
right,
most
okay.
of it, and then I paid another 2 million or something.
Sounds like a
So
very
it-
wise thing, like when you say, when you stop looking for the thing you want.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
It
Well, that's what Henry
often
David Thoreau said.
falls in
Yeah.
threat of you.
Happiness is like a butterfly. If you go chasing after it, you'll never get it. But if you wait, it'll come and land on your shoulder.
Or like when you need a shit but you can't go, and then sometimes you're like, oh man, I need a shit right now.
Well, that's the rest of the quote from Henry David
Yeah.
Thoreau,
That is-
the American
that is
transcendentalist
true.
writer and naturalist.
Yeah. I like what
Or,
I said better.
Or you need a shit, and you think you're gonna do a good one, and when you get there, it's just a rabbit bob.
Why have you got to ruin
Right.
it, Stu?
I'm just saying, it just happens today. You think you're gonna
just
get a
realized-
satisfying log, and
We were
you get a
talking about
bob.
lovely things about nature and happiness, and you're gonna go talk about
You
shit.
just ruined it.
What? What? Just say.
Anyway, the other thing about the game that I'm noticing is that storage is sometimes a bit of a pain because you have storage in your base, you have storage on your freighter, you can put things in your exosuit, you can put things on your ship. And so like I knew I had microprocessors, but I couldn't remember where they
Where
were.
did I put them?
So like yeah, like they were in my other space suit. No, they're in my
You couldn't
ship.
remember which
No,
pocket they were in.
Oh, they're in my shoes.
they're in my freighter.
Put 'em
No,
in my
they're in
shoes.
my base storage. So it's just kind of annoying to have to go trying to figure out where they. Now, fortunately, the game has done a good job of making it easy to move between these things. You can just summon your freighter in a second. You can warp from your base to the
It's
space
all
station and
drag
all that.
and drop.
Right. It's not too bad. Yeah. I'm loving this game. It is so well done.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just I'm really happy with it.
What's
so.
the goal?
Get to the
Well,
middle
that's
of
the
your
thing
universe.
is that there are
isn't it?
several goals, and I thought I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again real quick, or maybe I didn't mention it before. Originally, you know, the whole goal of the game was to get to the center of the universe,
Yeah.
and then when you
I
get
knew
there,
that.
it's just I've never done it, but you know, one of these days I will, I guess.
Well, it's wank,
And
isn't it?
but apparently, when you get there, it's just there's nothing. It just
Yeah.
starts you all over or something, right?
Yeah.
And so once people realized that was it and they hated it,
Yeah.
Hello Games did this very clever thing where they said, okay, that goal will still be in the game, but we will introduce these NPCs who say, don't trust this, you know, because it's this Atlas system that's like guiding you on or whatever it is. These NPCs now say, don't trust the Atlas system. They're lying to you, right? And so they've built this meta thing on it. And then the goal becomes, well, there's like group research that you can do for, you know, helping out the community of gamers and stuff. And so you'll get little benefits if you do that research. You know, you go and scan animals or whatever. I don't really know. I haven't done any of it yet, but you know, really, they've made a platform that has a lot of different goals to it. So there's this character named Artemis who reaches out to you at one point. He's like, help, I'm afraid, I'm trapped somewhere, I don't know what's going on. And you want to reach him. You build this communication device, you find him, you try to communicate with him, and then this other thing shows up and is like, don't worry about Artemis, I want you to help me. And it's a little awkward because, you know, you want to find Artemis, and then this other thing, this like robot shows up and is like, no, don't worry about Artemis. And you're like, well, who are you? And he's like, I will help you, but let's expand your base. And so you're hiring like a scientist on your base. And I'm like, I wanted to find the dude who's out there in the stars. What does this have to do with this scientist trying to get me to look up a different kind of metal or something? Like, this sucks. So it feels like they're just yanking you around a little bit to do these quests. But I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, at some point, I will reach this Artemis character or find out. You know, and the other thing is that everything is really mysterious, and it's like, you don't remember you've been here before? Who told you how to find me? You did. And it's like, come on. I'm going to get to the part where you explain what's going on. But whatever. In the meantime, I don't mind that the story's convoluted and that the storytelling is a little sketchy because the gameplay loop is so fun. And, yeah.
Can I just
I'm
say,
enjoying it.
Can I just say, it is cool taking off from a planet in this game. I think there's no other space game does it better. That seamless
Nobody does.
rising into the atmosphere and then into space there's no other game does it, and it's still fucking cool even now.
Absolutely, and I haven't tried Elite Dangerous. I really should one of these days, but you know, Rebel Galaxy Outlaw does space travel fairly decently. But you're right. The thing that sets this game apart is that it's so seamless. You can land on any planet, run around the planet, scan it, find stuff worth digging up, and go down into the ocean and get salt if you need it. And you know, this, that, you have a portable refiner with you, lots of aliens to interact with and learn new words and stuff. It's just, it's like I said, you know, it has that Skyrim feel in that it's enormous and you can go anywhere you want.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I mean, I got a bit bored, if I'm being
Of
totally
course.
honest.
But you know, that was when it first came out, right?
No, I played it recently. When I first
okay.
got my Quest and Airlink and all that malarkey, I linked up on the PC and actually gave it a go in VR. In VR, and it was all right.
Well, there you go. I mean, you know,
was
that's
all right.
cool. It's 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 not going to be for everybody, obviously, but I think as I've said, I'm very happy that Hello Games kept going with it, and if you like a good space exploration game, this is the gold standard now.
Yeah, they definitely went all in. I mean, they could have, like when we said this last week, they could have easily turned around and gone, right, let's make something else. Yep. You know what I mean? What's the point of spending any more time on this? But they didn't. They kept it going. They give all these free updates. You couldn't ask for more, really.
That's right.
Let's make Joe Danger 3.
Yeah.
Remember they made Joe Danger? Remember that?
I don't. I didn't know they'd done that.
I remember Beautiful Joe, but I don't play Joe Danger.
Joe Danger was like a stuntman. That was their game before this.
Okay.
There you go. Well, I feel like we should carry on with the theme of space, Chinny, because we both been playing Mass Effect. And
Did you finish? Did you finish it?
No, did it? Because like, God.
See what was Stu banging on about before? Duke?
I said I would try. I've done a lot.
Chinny, you've not even started it yet. Oh my God!
I have done.
Fucking finished.
I'll tell you where I'm up to, and then I have done quite a lot of stuff this week. I haven't played a lot else.
I've not only finished it, I did all the side quests as well.
I know you're mental, but I've got Liara now. I went and saved her, so I've done that mission. That's done.
Aren't you special?
And I went. I don't know whether this is one of the DLCs you were talking about, Chinny. But you've got to go and clear out a load of Geth bases on different planets. And I don't remember doing this in the original game. So whether
that is the original game, though.
Is it? I must have just never done it. Yeah. Because you know me, I tend to just stick to the main story and don't do
the
a lot of
DLC in Mass Effect 1 is the Batarians. Those are the ones with like 6 eyes.
Yeah, no, I've definitely not done that.
So the Batarians, you rock up on this planet and you go, there's an asteroid heading to a planet, that's it. And you land on the asteroid, and like they've got thrusters on the fucking asteroid, which are like fucking going into the planet, and you get on there, and it's the bloody Batarians doing
with their eyes, with their little beady eyes,
with the bloody, and you go on there, you go, lads, what's all this about? The fucking, you've got 3 exhausts on this asteroid. What's your problem with this planet? And they're all like, well, I don't fucking know. They were here when I got here. And you're like, oh, they're fucking on. I'm going to switch him off. I'll fucking switch him off. I'll fucking kill you.
I'll tell you what, they've got strange accents.
Yeah. It's the
Witcher. Aliens for you. I mean, what do you want?
It's the Witcher 3 cast, you know. So, and you say, well, I'm going to switch him off. And the Batarians say, nah, well, I'm not really in favour of that decision.
Not feeling it. They're not feeling it.
Could you not switch him off? And you go, fuck you. Why don't you put on 6 pairs of sunglasses and fuck off? But yeah, so you kill them and whatever, and then you turn them off, and the asteroid. That's the DLC. So that's
well, yeah, I did something in the game that I know I definitely didn't do in the original game, and that's I bought some shit off that arms dealer on the ship.
Oh yeah,
on the Normandy, and he acts all like he's all innocent and sort of above board and on the level, right? But he's fucking shady as fuck.
I like how Shepard, you get the option of saying like, "Why should I buy shit off you?" Like,
yeah, it's my shit. It's my shit.
You should support the Alliance army. You stupid prick. I've got a family to feed. You're fucking.
He is.
And then I put him in an airlock and I went poof like that.
And I go, and you say to him, well, can you get some better stuff? And he goes, yeah, if I get the better, you'll have to get me some better licenses. So
I never did that. I never did that.
No, I didn't do it, but he has all this shady shit. So I don't know what you do with cash much because you come across the odd...
I got to about level 20 and then just bought loads of stuff.
Yeah, you get the odd trader here and there, don't you? But I was like, so I'm like, what have you got? And he had the Spectre assault rifle and the Spectre pistol and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And in the original game, I just had all this shit because you collect so much stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
And you get the same stuff over and over again. So you've got about 6 of the same thing. So I flogged all of that. So I got the Spectre pistol and the Spectre assault rifle. And they look pretty good, I've got to say. Mm-hmm. I haven't actually had a chance to try them out because I did that just before I finished playing. So yeah, I did all of that side mission with the Geth bases. I found the monkey, by the way, with the fucking data.
I did that.
Fucking monkey. Why is it always got to be the last monkey?
Because
it's about as far away from the starting point as possible, and then all the fucking Geth arrive, and you've got to shoot the shit out of them and escape from the planet. So did all that stuff. So that's all done. Got Liara. and then I did all the gaff bases. So I've done quite a bit. You know, I probably played, you know, another good 6-7 hours maybe. You know, I played a decent amount of time, but I've been mixing, I've been doing other stuff, and that's the trouble. I get distracted with, you know, I used to get distracted with new games. Now I get distracted doing other stuff.
Well, I get distracted because I want to play snooker for reals. But
I know.
What can you do? Tom Lewis is in the chat and he says, why are you not talking about snooker? You missed the snooker chat at the start. Eric just
Well,
told
there's
you
going
that.
to be some more.
I met Ronnie O'Sullivan yesterday.
Yeah, you could have heard that whole story. Now you got to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So what's your next mission on Mass Effect 1? Do you know?
The asteroid one. So that's the final one.
That's the DLC.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought that was part of the, you know, because they give you 3 places you have to explore, don't they? When you first
so it's Noveros, Pharos.
So I've done Pharos, and I've done obviously the one with Liara. Is that Noveros? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
So I've done those 2, and then I thought the other one was on the asteroid.
No, hold on.
I thought there was an asteroid.
There's Novera.
Yeah.
Pharos.
Yeah. Well, where's Liara? Where's she?
Liara's on Therum, I think.
Oh, well, I've done that one, and I've done obviously the Pharos one.
Yeah.
So I've got the first, and then they give you another one. So I've had another one given to me now. So they go, oh yeah, there's this other thing you could probably check out as well.
Have you done Viamere?
I don't know. I don't think so.
So
I'd forgotten how linear it is. It's quite linear.
It's very linear. Very
it's
linear.
Like there's these 3 missions. Do them in any order, but you've just got to
basically the main game is you got the Edis Prime at the start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Citadel shit.
Yeah.
Then you've got 3 optional, 3 missions that you can do in any order. Yeah. Then you go back to the Citadel, and you're grounded because you're not allowed to fly off. And then you go to Viamere, and then you go to Ilos, and that's it.
Yeah. How long did it take you, by the way?
So it took me about 28, 29 hours, but I did all the side missions.
Yeah, that's not that long, is it?
No, but I did all the side missions.
I'm saying though, generally that's not that long.
You could definitely do this in 22 hours.
Yeah, well, I'm up to probably about 13, 14 hours, I guess.
You could definitely do it in 20 hours, I reckon. Bye, Tom Lewis. So yeah, I think you could do it. But so Viamere is the mission where it's sort of like you can do side missions after Viamere, which is what I did. But you should do, before you do Viamere, you should do as many side missions as you're willing to do.
Right, okay.
Because this is what I've got to say. I've made notes. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
One of my first note was, felt pretty short. You could miss the side quest altogether because it doesn't really make it obvious that you should do it.
I'm sure I just did main quest when I did it.
Because like the side quests are like there, but like nothing points you to them. It doesn't even make you do a side quest to just show you what they are. They just exist, and you're like, okay.
No, to be fair though, the ones with the gaff, basically when I was looking on the map, when I've zoomed in on that particular part of the map, like a broadcast came in and said, oh, just to let you know, in this part of the galaxy, we think there's been some gaff resistance bases or something. Could you check them out if you get a chance or whatever?
Yeah.
So it does kind of get, but you've got to like click on it for it to give you the prompt. Yeah.
But you can't like track a mission, can you? So when you select a mission, it doesn't highlight it on a map or anything like that.
No.
It's just like, that's a mission. If you want to do it, I don't know where it is. You better find it.
Well, sometimes even when you're doing a mission, like it doesn't give you a clear marker on where you need to go. Sometimes you just gotta go. Just hope you're going in the right direction.
But so really, yeah, you've got the start mission, Citadel, and then 3 missions that you can do in any order. You should be doing the side missions between those 3 missions, really, to break it up. But I didn't. I did those 3 straight after each other. I did Viamere, which is where you make the decision about Ash or Caden.
Oh, God, yes. I remember that in the game.
Viamere is also where you could potentially kill Rex.
Yeah, see, I've not done that yet. But what I'm trying to do, I'm talking to Rex a lot
That won't do
On-
anything.
on the Normandy. I didn't know. I couldn't remember what it was to do with how friendly you were with him.
No.
So I've been chatting a lot.
You
You
want to
know.
know how to save it?
No. I want to just see what happens. I'll save this time.
All right. Well, make sure I'm not going to give you any clues, but let's just say make sure you're a charming man. Anyway, the game, it gives you those decisions, but I was sure that the Ashley Caden thing was like at the start of the game. Or
Well, if you did that mission first, it would be, wouldn't it?
no, you can't do that mission first.
Ah, right, okay.
It's the opening mission, 3 missions, and
Yeah.
then the Vimir.
Once you've been back to the
To the Citadel, like they ground you, and that's like basically Vimir is like almost end game stuff. And I was like, I don't remember Ashley and Caden's decision being so close to the end, and I also don't remember the Rex thing being on the same planet. I didn't think that was the same thing. It's funny though, because who do you remember who you saved in the first playthrough?
No, do you know what the problem I've got is, and I'm going to have the same issue this time. I never take either of them on any missions.
Right.
I never take them.
Well, I do
always...
because there's achievements to do it, so I do.
Oh, right, okay.
But I killed Caden, right? Because he's really boring. He's just a boring character. Whereas Ash is a bit more interesting. She's a bit of a party girl, Ash. She's got a bit of depth to her. I think in the first time I played Mass Effect, I was trying to swoon her as well.
Right.
So anyway, so this time I saved Caden.
Okay.
Right. And I regretted my decision instantly. So I went back and saved Ash.
That's funny.
Which is funny because then I saw both cutscenes play out exactly the same, but in different locations.
You see, I think it's weird for me because, and I did, like I say, I did the exact same thing in the first game. I took Garrus and Rex on pretty much every mission. Because when I look at the stats of the characters, I always think, oh yeah, they're the better. They're the more fighter types. Like Rex is funny and he's hard, so he's always good to have along. Although they do seem to get killed quite easily. Well, yeah, he's not very funny, but he's quite interesting. I always take them, and I did the exact same thing. And then, like, I never take Ashley, I never take Caden. You know, I never take any of those with me.
I always swap it up.
No, I don't.
I always swap it up because
let me ask you a question. Sorry, go ahead.
I would just think like, oh, I took Rex last time, so he could deal with a break.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably emotionally scarred from the last mission, so I'll take Ashley now.
Right.
So, what was you going to say, Eric?
So, yeah, I read something last week that really made me think about Mass Effect. Now, someday I'll go back and play these again. I don't know if I'll do this or...
If only you
original,
played
but-
them at the same time as... Oh.
No, when have I ever done that with anything?
Never.
But someone said that the combat in the first one was kind of wonky because they were still using their formula from old role-playing games, which had a lot more to do with RNG than it did with your ability to shoot. You know what I mean? Is that true about the combat now in this Legendary Edition?
Well,
Okay.
no, I think it's still similar though.
No, because
It's still there to an extent.
no, it's not. It's not incorrect. So like that, you aim the reticle of
Stu
the
needs
sniper
something to
rifle.
blame when he can't shoot people.
Like,
Go ahead,
because my
sorry.
character is specialized in pistols and shotguns, whereas before a headshot wasn't always a headshot. I literally one-shot these people in the head with a pistol. Like, I barely got the assault rifle out in my playthrough.
Gotcha.
So like the shooting mechanics are like pinpoint accurate now. With the sniper rifle, you can get headshots and stuff. Wasn't the way before.
But you have to get them yourself. It's not like you just level your character up and then it...
No, it used to work like that. Yeah, when it was originally. I think they just changed all that and just made it.
So then the question is, what point is there in leveling up your character? And
because you get stronger, you get better.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's
you
not
get better abilities, don't you?
Okay, so it's not easier necessarily to get headshots, but it'll
They do more damage, and so like
Gotcha.
the pistol for me was like by
Or maybe
far,
the reticle is a little smaller or something.
No, I don't think they do that really, but they give you better guns and you do more damage and you take less damage and those sort of usual things.
The numbers are still there. It's just not quite as random.
Yeah, and but the pistol and the shotgun were just beasts for me. It's rare because I usually pick like the basic soldier class, but because I never used biotics in Mass Effect, I never really bothered with them. So I wanted to try them out this time, and I really like the lift one. You know, when you fucking lift them up because
Mhm.
they're
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
comfy
That's classic.
behind their cover. They're like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
staying here,
that's
no
right.
problem. And you go
Oh,
"Whoop,"
yeah.
like that, and they're like, whoa.
Oh, that's what
the
I did in
fuck?"
Borderlands 3. I had that in Borderlands 3, and it's such a nice.
It's great.
because they're right there and they're frozen.
So
you just-
so you get and then like if you can be biotic or you can be like a technical techie person, and that techie person can like they can override their guns. They can I think they can power surge them or something, so that makes them like explode a little bit or fizzle.
Yeah.
I don't know,
yeah.
but I like the
Whoa,
biotics
oh my
thing.
god. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Go on. What was no? I was done.
Well, I'm rating papers here. I had my creative writing students write about their favorite stories, whether books, movies, video games, TV shows, whatever. And the paper I just pulled up starts out, one of my favorite video game series is Mass Effect, a sci-fi action role
It's a
playing
great,
series.
I
from
mean,
BioWare.
it's instantly the characters are much more likable than Mass Effect Andromeda. It feels so much more grander than Mass Effect Andromeda, even though Andromeda is set on like massive, like 3 or 4 massive open worlds. It took twice as long to finish. Andromeda did, but this felt more epic than that.
Right.
So I
Right.
feel like the problem really, there's a lot of problems between Andromeda and Mass Effect 1, but voice cast is a big thing. Obviously polish and the weird sort of animations that the characters did in Andromeda was strange, but also the choice to make open world areas dramatically slow the game down. You're
Right,
traveling
right.
less around space,
Yeah, yeah,
and
right.
here you feel like you're in a space. You know,
And there's a purpose every time you go to a planet or an area.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
There's a
it's
specific
super
purpose, and
focused
you
and-
know that you're
yeah.
gonna travel through this area, and then at the end
That's
of it,
it.
you'll have that purpose.
They're
of something,
dungeons. They're dungeons
the
like
open world-
Zelda
right,
had
exactly.
dungeons, and
Right,
that's
right,
and they're
right.
driven and they're focused and they're tested, and
Yeah.
rather than like
And
just
Skyrim
open
has
world.
dungeons. Like that's a big difference between Skyrim. I mean, I suppose you have dungeon-ish type things in certain parts of Andromeda, but not many of them. I mean, the part.
Well,
I
the
played
dungeons
anyway.
was like those things, those temples that you went in,
Right. Exactly.
and
that's
they
what I
were
was
all
thinking of.
boring metal, like
Right.
nonsense crap things,
Right.
which made no
Let me
sense.
ask you this too, Chinny. You talked about the epic feel of the original. Like, do you think part of that might have to do with the fact that you've played the whole thing, and like on the second playthrough, you already have a sense of that scale? You know what I mean? In other words,
I guess so.
Andromeda, I'm saying like when you first encounter something, like you see it open up as you go, whereas when you've played something like this, you know how big it gets. I don't know.
But the thing is with Andromeda, there's this sense of it sort of trying too hard. Like the first mission in Andromeda was like, is pretty stunning, really. Like you falling through these clouds, you land on this amazing planet. These floating rocks are everywhere. The scale is incredible. Whereas the first mission on Mass Effect is like you're just on some like boring planet, and then
Yeah.
Ash
Right.
runs up to you and goes,
Yeah.
"Some people are dead. Like, can
Yeah.
you help?" So it
Right.
doesn't really show off in any way. And
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true. That's a
as-
good point.
As the game sort of unfolds, you're like, oh, I've got the, I can do this, and it
Right,
starts to sort of
right.
grow on you. Whereas Andromeda's trying to beat you over the head with
You
it.
start you off well, and if you start off really, really big, then it's never going to feel any bigger than that.
Yeah,
I
Whereas
think
in
as well
first
for
Mass
me.
Effect, you start off small and then you get bigger, bigger, bigger.
Yeah, but I
bigger,
also
bigger.
think it's just got a tighter narrative.
it does.
you know
Yeah,
what
oh,
I
I
mean?
think that's
They're
true too.
There's
yeah,
there's
yeah,
way
yeah,
too
sure.
much because I mean it's sort of so sad really how Andromeda just tried to copy the Mass Effect so much, because they give you this role on Andromeda of the Pathfinder. You know what I mean? Like you are the Pathfinder. Da, 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 da. Whereas what I like about the original Mass Effect is like everybody hates like the humans really, and the fact that like that you're a human Spectre, you're the first human Spectre. No one likes you. No one. The humans are like this dirty, stupid race.
Yeah.
And everybody just
But
sees
all the
you as-
other aliens are totally racist.
they're all sort of racist and just they hate you, and like some are trying and some are not, and that's just a really good, interesting time. That's all scrapped in Andromeda really. Like that doesn't come up as much, and you're the Pathfinder, so you're basically Jesus, and you know everybody you walk in a
Everyone
room,
loves you.
and in this game, right? No one even knows that there is a human Spectre. You turn up and go, "I'm a Spectre," and they go, "No, you're not. There's not even a human Spectre." And they go, "Yeah, I am. Like, they made me. Like, you can look at my papers." And they go, "Oh, well, I don't know. What do you want? Like, good for you. You know." So it's like you're not.
Yeah,
on
no
this
one's
pedestal.
impressed, are they?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think it's way more, and it's just better acted. It's better animated. Yeah, it's just.
I'll tell you what, it's saying something that a game from 2007 is better animated.
I think we're at a point now. I think with the 360 era where it was the same with the PlayStation and PlayStation 2 and all the Super Nintendo, right? Super Nintendo games don't look bad now.
Yeah.
But Nintendo games look bad, right? They just look like trash. Not all of them, but most of them do. Super Nintendo games don't look bad now. They still look good. And I feel like we're at that point when with the 360 where a lot of 360 games, they still hold up. You know, I know this has been touched up or whatever.
Yeah, it's not a massive amount. They have done quite a bit of stuff on it.
But even if I played like the original Dead Space or if I played the original Mass Effect, like it wouldn't really matter that much.
No, you'd still be okay with it.
Like you played Resident Evil 4 on the VR. I know it's VR, but they haven't upgraded the graphics that much.
No, a little bit, but it's
like,
nothing major.
It doesn't matter anymore.
No, I love that game.
Like these, like 360 onwards, graphics are good enough where we make exceptions to these things. We don't really expect them to look crystal clear. It's just as long as they're good. Yeah, Mass Effect 1 still holds up. It's still great.
Yeah, I'm going to get through it this week. I'm going to try and get it through.
Are we going to start 2, Stu? Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah, defo.
So, because I was so tempted, I finished Mass Effect 1 at like Wednesday this week. So
yeah, you're in it. You see, you're in.
So I was like, shall I start 2? But I don't want to be so far ahead of him, so I'm going to wait. I'll probably sneak in. In fact, I've already completed another game between this one.
Damn.
So
I know,
he goes away for 6 months. And now he's back with vengeance. Chinny is back, people.
So
it was meeting Ronnie O'Sullivan.
I'll have to wait for you to finish Mass Effect 1, but you need to
actually, I am going to put some effort in. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm going to try and get some more in tomorrow.
I reckon you've got about 6 hours left.
Yeah, I think I'll get through it pretty quick.
But if you start Mass Effect 2, you got to let me know, because then I'll start it.
Okay, will do. I will do. We'll get there. This is quite cool doing this, because we're kind of egging each other on. We're kind of making each other play these games.
This is why Duke should play it.
Yeah. We need some egging on. Anyway,
I don't know what to tell you, man.
We'll
imagine how cool it would be if you could travel No Man's Sky style in Mass Effect. That would be the bollocks.
It'd be too open.
It would be too open.
Yeah, it would.
It'd be too much for me. I'd be like, now I can do anything. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I hear you.
As we both talked about one game, you can go back to your games, Duke, I guess.
Yeah, I got one more. There's a new sale on its Steam. We just got done with the winter sale. Now they got the Lunar New Year sale going on.
There's always
so
a
I was
sale.
like, okay. And I got Cloudpunk.
Oh, yeah.
Which was on my list, on my wish list. I got like 100 games on there now. I realized I was like, damn. And not all of them are ones I want. Like a bunch of them are there because if I find them for under $5, I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll get that. Yeah, Cloudpunk is a delivery game. And I was nervous when I started playing it because you know the last game I played that was driving around, taking things here and there, NeoCab.
Yeah.
Is a disaster of a game. So I was nervous about this following that same path. But I'm happy to report that so far, at least, and I've only played like an hour or two, it doesn't follow that path. In fact, there's no dialogue choices at all in this game.
Oh, okay.
So that's good. It is,
you're a flying car.
It's right. It is a kind of similar concept in that techno, futuristic.
Oh, it's
neon
cyberpunk,
everything.
isn't it? It's cyberpunk.
It's cyberpunk-ish, exactly, and it's like dark all the time, and you're like, I don't know. They explain the setting at one point, but I don't remember what they said.
Fifth Element.
It is Fifth Element-ish, but here's the thing: you can't go down to street level.
Okay.
And you can't go above a certain area, and so all the activity happens in this. It's in the clouds, like in these towers. And so, but you're only interacting like the top, 20 floors of these towers. So there is verticality. One of the nicest things about it is that there are these like roads, quote unquote, which are basically like, I don't even know how to describe. They're conduits. And if you get on them, you go significantly faster. So you can go anywhere you want, give or take. You can't go up or down too far. But you know, you have these main thoroughfares that you go through. They're kind of tunnels, but you don't, you know, they're not really bounded on the sides. You can get into them any way you want. But they take, like I said, they take you a lot fast. So you get in the general neighborhood of where you need to go, and then you get off of those, and then you go and fly into the spot, and then you have to find a parking spot. You can't just land anywhere you want. So once you land, then you're in. You can either do third person or first person, but you have a little avatar that runs around.
Oh, right.
And when you-
Okay. I thought this
you
was.
do-
That's quite interesting because when I have seen this game a few times, I think, oh, this looks cool. I assumed literally you were always in the cab thing in the car.
That's what I assumed too, right? Exactly, because none of the
Yeah.
stuff I had seen showed me anything about the walking around part. But once you do, you realize that this game, the scale of it is again pretty remarkable because there's thousands and thousands of people walking around. Now you can't interact with very many of them, but you know, on your way to deliver a package, you'll pass like 3 people you can interact with, and like a lot of people are trying to get you to, you know, appear on their like basically like video blogs. And so, you know, this one dude is like the bro. He's like, "Yo, bro, my bro, what is it? My bro brothers." And your character's like, and you don't have to choose any dialogue. She's, you know, she's great. She goes, "Really? Your followers are called bro brothers?" He's like, "Yeah, man, finally the bro brothers have a chance to get their voices heard." And she's like, "Yeah, oh, you've never had a chance for that, so that's a good thing." So anyway, and that's voxel art. The characters, and you realize that most everything in the game is voxel art. So you can't really tell when you're flying around because it's moving by pretty quickly, and the voxels aren't very big. It's not Minecraft, but it's, you know, you realize that everybody's made up of these, you know, like little blocks and stuff. So it limits the amount of detail on the actual characters you're interacting with, but every time you do, it pops up a little window with their face and the dialogue and stuff. So it's not a downside to have it like that. But again, like it really opens the game up, and you realize that like it's not just the vehicles; it's also a lot of individual characters wandering around. So
It's
that's
like being a
that's very
taxi
interesting.
driver in Back to the Future 2.
I know, right? So that's really cool. There are the world, the city, whatever it is split up into sectors. So there is some loading between sectors. But that's not a real big deal so far. I mean, I haven't really gotten exhausted with it yet. And like I said, each of the sectors has a lot of, you know, different spots in it. So there's a lot of variety in where you go. Parking can be a bit of a pain at times. You have to find a parking area, which is sometimes kind of far away from where you're delivering. So you have to park and then get out and then walk to the place and then deliver the package and then walk back to your car and then take off again. And it's not a huge deal. It just kind of makes me wonder if it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to know yet if it's really valuable enough to have all the different characters walking around, because obviously it makes the world more engaging, but I can't imagine this is a huge epic story that they're telling here. I feel like it's kind of an indie game that's, I don't know.
Where's the fun?
So the fun is moving around and flying anywhere you want, and that'll wear off soon, I'm sure. But it's the main fun is like what you're delivering. They say when you first start the game, and even in the promo literature, it says there's 2 rules: never miss a package drop and never ask what's in the package.
Okay.
So one of the first packages that I delivered was to this guy who has been waiting for weeks because it's the thing that his parents left to him before they left town.
Who do you work for? Yodel? Am I right, Stu?
No,
Oh, yeah.
you work for an organization called Cloudpunk, and at one point you have to deal with the cops and the guy said, your dispatcher goes, you've never heard of Cloudpunk, you know, and then they ask you, of course, and you have to be like, no, I've never heard of them. So
do you
there's
get
something
optional
clandestine
dialogue
going on.
things?
No, there's no dialogue options at all. So I mean, and again, like that makes it more of a visual novel in that sense, but I'm okay with that because, like I said, my biggest gripe with NeoCab is like you were supposed to make certain choices, and I like the fact that this doesn't have that in it yet. It might have it later, but so far it's just
how video games have really just broadened. Like how often do you go, you know what, I don't like this futuristic cab driving story-based game. I'm just going to try this other futuristic cab driving.
Right,
based
exactly.
crazy.
And that's,
no,
but you
to
know
be
what?
fair-
It's
to
interesting
be
you say that,
fair,
though.
No, can I just say it's a delivery driver.
It's a
in this
delivery
game.
game.
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
It's not delivering people
yeah.
yet.
That is
Right.
vastly
Or at
different.
least not alive people. Yeah. But here's the thing about that, Chinny. I'm glad you said that because that makes the story a double-edged sword. Because in both games, they have to take time to set up the dystopian nature and the fact that this corporation's in charge of everything. And as soon as they start, you're like, yeah, I know. Can we just get on with it? Which is why in Nimbus X, my delivery package science fiction story,
Oh yeah.
on sale soon. By the way, I just finished recording the audiobook version.
Oh, that's cool. I'll definitely
That's getting
listen.
us closer to the launch. I know, right?
Yeah.
I was going to put it on
listen.
Spotify, but guess not. Anyway, I just, the company is called Wallazon, and I'm like, okay, there it is. And someone said, hey, is that Walmart and Amazon? I'm like, yes. Now, you can't do that in a real game. If I was ever going to make money, I couldn't call it Wallazon, but whatever. So anyway, it's good so far. The one of the packages I delivered, the dude was like, yeah, he was waiting for the package from his parents, and when he opens it, it was like his old baseball cards or something. Like he thought it was going to be stocks or like gold, certificates or something, and it's just baseball cards. And he's like, why would they give me this? And it was all sentimental value, and he was so crushed, and I was just like, well,
Yeah.
bye.
That is the worst kind of value.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
What?
exactly. So anyway, like I said, I'm not very far into it yet. It is good. It's a lot more, like I said, the city's a little, I have more options of exploring it than I did originally. And at one point, like, I passed somebody who's just called Dealer. And I was like, oh, what's that? So I went back and I looked at it and I was like, hey, can we talk?
You should change
And you
his
had
name.
the option to, yeah, that's a bad name, dude. But you have these, you could buy like 2 different drugs off of him. And I was just like, I don't know why I would buy those, so I'm not going to mess
Was
with them
one
now.
red and one blue?
Yeah, exactly. No, one made you grow smaller and one made you bigger.
Oh.
But then, you meet this other person who's like, she's gone. And you're like, who's gone? Like, she just left and I have no idea where she is. And they tell you her name. And so presumably I'll run into her at some point and I'll have to let her know that so-and-so is looking for her or whatever it is.
Fucking find her yourself.
Yeah,
well, it's a big city, man.
Well,
you can't find her.
you
You
found
don't know
her.
where she is. Well, no, but I haven't found her yet. But presumably I
You
will.
probably will.
I don't know. We'll see.
I tell you what, the
So,
city as you're walking around looks impressive.
Yeah, it does.
It is. It's the whole thing. Like, there's a level of detail here that's really impressive, but it's not because of fancy graphics. It's just because of the time they put in to do it right. And that's always my favorite thing in an indie game. So, I mean, I don't know how indie it is, but it's good. I'm liking it so far. Cloudpunk. I mean,
Cloudpunk.
like I said, not very far in, but I am keen on it. I'm going to keep playing it. The fun, to answer your question, Chinny, basically the fun is the stories that you unfold and you find out about with each delivery that you make. So I haven't done much of that yet because they were taking me through the basics of how you do stuff. But yeah, I'm going to keep going with it. Next week, I'll have more to report on Cloudpunk.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good. Yeah, can I just ask you? You were referring to your book and Spotify. Are you having problems with Spotify? It sounded like.
No, I'm thinking maybe I don't want to, in the same way I don't like doing business with Amazon. Maybe I shouldn't be doing business with Spotify because
Come on.
It's called selling
But
out.
then again, as someone said on Twitter, like if I'm going to go looking for a conscientious, progressive, enlightened platform for music, well, good luck. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, what's your other choice?
But I mean,
Apple.
but I do like the fact that, yeah, I know, right? It's not like Apple's a haven for, enlightenment. But at the same time, like, I like the fact that we can say to Spotify, like, look, this is a problem when you're giving a platform to these anti-vaxxer schmucks. Like, that's putting people's lives at risk. And I like the fact that the world is saying to them, we care about what kind of stuff you have on your platform because they, like Facebook, and I really ought to not be using Facebook if that's my idea, But, these organizations are saying like, well, we are just a service for people to broadcast stuff. And we don't have any responsibility to, it's not us. It is you. I'm sorry. You do have a responsibility. If a student in my creative writing class were to submit stories that were neo-Nazi stories every time, would I be like, well, I'm just trying to help him get better at writing. It doesn't matter what he's writing about.
Whatever,
Of course not. It does matter what he's writing about. It matters what you put out on your platform.
Was which he travels through.
So anyway, yeah, but no. I mean, but I'll make it available in lots of different ways, so people will be able to hear it. Don't worry.
Yeah, can I just say, by the
Nimbus
way,
X coming soon.
By the way, we're doing quite well on Spotify for the podcast. We're up to,
Woo!
I know, yeah. We're
Well,
up
maybe
to,
that LinkedIn lady can help us even more.
Maybe she can. 159 followers we've got now on
Okay,
Spotify.
okay.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Hey.
So they're like subscribers, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
We're doing pretty
That's
well.
wank. That's wank.
What's fine?
Well, compared to Joe Rogan, yeah.
No, that's just on one platform though. We've only been
Yeah,
on since.
but it's on
Yeah.
the platform though.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, the
we're
major
steadily
way that people
increasing.
listen
We're
to
increasing.
podcasts.
Look, we go
You
up.
gotta start somewhere, Chinny. We
Stu,
can't all
it's
be
a
Ronnie
steep
O'Sullivan's
curve.
BFF.
Stu, I'm quitting the show. That ain't good enough for me.
That's all right. We have a replacement lined up on LinkedIn, so screw you.
Yeah, we do.
Anybody else can broadcast
we're
us on
averaging
YouTube. You're not
on the
special,
line,
Chinny.
looking at the trends.
No wonder
We're
the show is
averaging
3
about-
hours.
Yeah, no,
fucking
we're
long.
averaging about 5 new followers a month, which
Oh,
is
God.
fine. You know, it's steady
We've
progress.
only been going for fucking 12
Yeah, I
years.
know, but we have a lot more on iTunes and stuff like that. It's Spotify's
Get
new
to
for us.
fuck.
We've only been on it about a year. God,
Stu, I think he's just winding you
he's
up.
never satisfied.
I love how
tell you.
this is the dynamic though. People would just make a joke and then she's like,
Oh.
"Well, here's why
Everybody
that thing is
satisfied,
not the way
fucking
you represent it
satisfied.
as."
Yeah, we might as well talk about another game we played together, Chinny, should we? Which is
I'm not
pool.
sure I want to.
I know, I bet you're not. So we played some we played some pool today.
We did.
We did, and Chinny's a fucking baby. He just whinged the whole time.
VR pool.
This is and I don't like that I can't use the queue like I use it in real life. That was Chinny playing.
Did you
today.
just play an audio of me earlier?
I did. I did. He was a fucking baby. He was. He was just like, oh, it's like I'm using the rest all the time.
Well, it is.
Well, it is, but you just get used to it. You just fucking
Well,
suck
you know
it
what?
up.
One thing I hate playing with when I play real snooker,
I don't really
the
like
fucking
it.
rest.
I don't really like
Do you
it.
know?
Well, it's like in Everybody Wants Some.
And
Did you
he's
ever see that
going,
movie, Everybody Wants Some?
This
No.
this was Chinny's favourite line,
See if I
right?
can find the
"Oh,
audio.
I'd have got that in real life.
I would
I'd
have.
have potted that in real
I
life.
would have.
That's honestly, that's all I heard you. I'd have
What?
potted
All
it
right,
in
so-
real
so-
life.
so
All right,
this
it looks like there's not a video version of it, but there is a yarn, yarn.io or whatever it is.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, I have no
There's a
idea.
website called Yarn, which is they only have like 4-second video clips, so
my
it's
God.
not going to be the whole scene.
Jesus
But there's a
Christ.
scene in the movie Everybody Wants Some where somebody's trying to make a shot, and the guy goes to get the rest, and it's a bunch of baseball players, and this is the dude who's just joined the team. So the other guy is very angry when he gets the rest out. So here, let me play this audio here for you.
Whoa. Hey, the bitch stick?
The rest is the bitch.
Bitch
Well,
stick,
I'll tell you
yeah.
what. If you don't want to,
And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Are you seriously using that?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to make a shot." All right, not with this, aren't you? Not have your balls dropped?
So
Sorry, go ahead.
if you try to avoid using the rest in snooker, you'd be in trouble because that snooker table's like 6 by 12 foot, so you have to use it quite a
Yeah.
lot. And
Yeah,
I
you
hate
do.
using
If
it.
you
I
want to
got-
use the bitch stick, you got to use it.
I used. There was a shot that I can usually reach like the middle of the table when the cue ball is in the middle of the table because I'm 6'3".
Because he's tall.
I
He's
stretched
tall.
off, and I play in my match last week. I played this short guy, and and the white was in the middle of the table. I stretched all the way over, potted the red, and he was like, "Fucking hell, I wish I could do that," because I hate
There you
using
go.
the rest so much. So anyway,
Right.
Stu and I played black hole pool, and the thing is, Stu's now gonna say, "Oh, I'm a big baby because I
You're a fucking big baby.
because I lost." Okay.
No,
I
I'm not
lost
saying
3-2.
no. No, I'm not saying
and-
you're a baby because you lost. I'm saying you're a baby because you acted like a fucking baby.
I'm a baby because I
Circular
didn't like the
logic.
game.
No, because he's going. Oh, do like-" What was amazing, right, dude? This is this is the thing,
Hello,
right?
Seal
That
Podcast,
summed
by
it
the way.
up. Yeah, hello
Hi,
there.
Seal.
This summed it up, right? He missed an easy shot, right? Which I would have got that if it was real
Yeah.
life. And then potted a really difficult ball. So I'm thinking, you're fucking bullshitting because you're like,
No,
you're saying
it's
you
just-
can't get the easy pots, but then
No,
you
no,
pot
no,
a
no, no.
really
That's not
difficult one.
necessarily bullshitting. What it says to me is that he started out playing it as if it were real, and then he started to get the hang of it, and then he got
No,
a
no, no,
difficult
no.
shot.
This
he
was
learned that
mid-game when he
system
was
easy.
still moaning about like missing easy shots.
Maybe not.
I don't know. I feel like yeah.
You did do some impressive pots, I've got to say. Some of you,
I just
some of the pots were impressive,
For-
and I'm
for-
just like, I'm just not getting this because it's kind of contradicting what you're saying.
I suppose.
Well, here's what
this
I
is-
would.
Because
I'm
you'd
sorry,
miss
I should
the
let y'all
difficult
talk 'cause
ones if you
y'all
can't
actually
get
played
the
it.
easy ones, wouldn't you?
This is how it is for me, right? In real life, it doesn't emulate what I can do. Right? In real life, Stu, I would batter you.
I'm sure because that happened, didn't it? Can we just reiterate here? That happened when we played in real life, didn't it? No,
What?
no, it
No,
didn't because I
no.
beat you in real life as well.
Also,
let's not forget.
Yeah, but Paul is just a shit game anyway. But
So
look,
just a minute, I beat you in
Okay,
real
now,
life.
that is a little
and I
bit of
beat
sour
you in
grapes. Like I didn't
VR.
want to play because I didn't want to win pool because pool
this
sucks.
is no,
but if it were
just
snooker.
Stu, just calm down. This is what I'm trying to say, right? It
Yeah,
was
yeah, I'm
frustrating to
listening.
me because the way you, this is the way you line up a shot. You have to so for a right-handed person, you have to like move your left hand in the right position, sort of aim it with the right position, pull the trigger, and then just sort of move your right hand through the cue. And to do
This guy's terrible at it, by the way.
to
You were
be
watching
so
play it.
to be so precise with that because it locks your cue. It's sort of it's just so finicky, and it just you want to you know how you traditionally hold a cue, Eric. You know you're right. Like that is
Right.
the ultimate way to like aim for a cue ball. So like
Right.
it's hard when you're basically playing like you're playing the rest, and it's just it's just difficult.
But it seems to me like this is what I was gonna say earlier. Like it seems to me the biggest drawback is you don't have a table to put your hand on, and that is absolutely
not-
essential to
Yeah.
playing the game of pool.
I
would
think
imagine.
they've got around that quite well. To be honest.
It feels like instead of queuing, you're throwing a dart at the ball. Like you know what I mean? That's what it feels like. You're locking a dart.
because
you're
because
aiming at
part
it
of
and then you
the
just
I mean
throw
again
something
like
at
I
it.
don't play a lot of pool, but when I used to play it, it seems to me when I think about how I played, it had everything to do with not just the stick in your hand, but the interplay between your left and right hand as it moves between your fingers and your grip on the back one. So to do it in this virtual way, it's going to try its best to approximate that, but it's not going to give you that same tactile
No,
feeling.
but I'll be honest, right? And I know Chinny's fucking bitching like a baby about it.
I'm not hearing that right
But-
now, but I mean, I'll take your
but-
word for it that it did happen when you played.
But right, me personally, once you get used to it, I think for me, out of all the sort of sports simulator stuff I've played on the Quest, this is the closest to real life because there's no assists, there's nothing that helps you apart from you working out the angles and potting a ball, kind of like you would in real life, really. It's about as close to that as you can get. And I think for me, and I know Chinny's bitching about it, but for me, I think they've done a fucking... Why this isn't on the main store, I have no idea. Because this, for me, is better than half of the games that are on there. You know, for realism, the way it looks, it's slick, it's polished, it's got YouTube on the wall so you can put any music on while you're playing. You know, they've put a lot
They
of
keep
effort.
playing the trailer to Pool Hall. Junkies in the
Yeah,
fucking
that's a bit
background.
annoying, but I don't look at that. I just listen to the music. But
I
I think they've done a sterling job.
I just think like the way the Oculus is set up because it doesn't have cameras that can.
Yeah,
as soon as you move your controller behind you, you can't detect it. It
Yeah.
spoils the pool.
If
Like,
there
I
was a
would
rear
love-
camera on the back of the headset, it would be perfect.
Honestly, Stu, if I think the emulation of pool here and the physics of the balls and I think that's fine. I like the
Yeah,
level
it's
of
spot
polish,
on.
I will give it credit, but they've done the best with what they can.
Yeah, they have.
But I just feel like the limitation isn't with the developers. I've got no beef with them, but it's just the limitation of VR. And I think if they had a camera on the back where you could put your hand around the back or something and you would see it, then end of problem, right? Then if you beat me,
Yeah.
then well, fuck you, right? So, but until then, this just feels like you're throwing a javelin at the fucking cue ball, and it doesn't feel very good.
You know what though, Ginny? I guess what we'll have to say is I'm just better at throwing a javelin than you.
Well, you can
we'll
take
just leave
that
it
if
at
you
that.
want. You can.
We'll
take
leave
that.
it at that. Well, I'm obviously better at it than you are.
Take it, yeah. You know, whatever.
Whatever way you look at it.
Whatever.
To be fair,
I've got a
right,
signed
that-
snooker ball by Ronnie. I mean, that proves that I'm better than you.
To be fair, they were close games. There was no like whitewash. They were very close.
No, the only reason I lost the end one is I went in off on the last
Yeah.
ball. Didn't I?
You did. It
Yeah.
was very unlucky. You were very, very unlucky.
Yeah.
You were
It was-
very
no,
unlucky.
but
They were close.
Look, I'm not
It
saying
was competitive. It was
I
competitive.
played snooker afterwards today, by the way, and I played
Right,
really
okay.
bad. So I'm putting it down to the fact that this game ruined my snooker. So
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, it's a different way of playing, and I mean, to me, when you say there's a lot of luck, or Chinny got lucky, like it seems like luck shouldn't be a big part of it. I know it's probably part of the game in general. But,
I was lucky.
you were lucky. Well, okay. Well, again, like, but doesn't that say something about the game if luck's a factor?
No. That happens in real life.
Yeah.
When you play.
Of course it does, but I don't know. Is it so?
Life,
Would you say it's more of a thing here or less? Or
no,
the
it's
same
exactly the same as
You know,
real life.
like
If you're going off,
do you
you're
agree with
going
that?
off.
Yeah. Like it emulates pool very well. The limitation,
Okay.
the limitation is you can't move the controller behind you. Therefore, you can't
Right.
have a real
normal queuing action.
everything
You're not
about
playing
it
it the way you would
only
normally
limitation.
play.
Billiard
Yeah,
sports
right.
is all about your cue action, right? How good you hit the ball straight and making
And
sure
waggle
that-
your
And
stick.
power position on the cue ball to get
Yeah, but
screw
look,
back
it's
and
like
whatever.
lining up the shot, making sure your cue
Yeah.
action's right, making you hit the white ball where you intended to hit it, right? And that's basic. If you master that, you'll never miss a shot or fuck it up again. And you can't emulate that because you can't hold a cue. You can't emulate
Not
holding
yet.
the cue.
They've
So
got
if
got
they
kind
can-
of 3 out of 4. It's literally just that queuing.
if they
thing.
if they had a cue controller that you could buy for this game and it detected
Yeah.
the cue, I'd be on it. I'd be like, yeah, fucking.
Yeah.
give
That
me
would be interesting if they had a cue controller and then you go to like your dining room table or something. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
seems to me like putting your hand on the table is really important.
Yeah, like if they,
You
yeah,
see,
exactly.
that can happen because they've already got on the Quest 2. You can put your table, your settee, and everything into the virtual world. And when obviously there's a settee in the virtual world, and you sit on it, and it's your settee in real life. And they'll do that for a desk, so that you can have a computer keyboard on your
If
desk.
they did something like that, I mean,
So
it's-
they can do all that
Yeah.
stuff.
lot-
So that
it's a
could
lot to
definitely
ask,
happen.
But if they said like,
It is a lot to
if
ask.
you wanna play this with a real table, like a dining table or something,
Yeah.
or just like
Yeah.
like your work desk or
Right,
just a
right,
standard
right,
office
right,
desk in front of you,
Yeah.
you can. And
Something you can put your hand on.
That would be really interesting. I'd be happy with that. But I mean, it's a good effort, I think, and it's not any fault of the developers. I just
No,
think
it's they have done the
best they
absolute best they could with what's available,
Yeah.
and it's slick. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, Chinny, the ball physics feel right, the cushions feel right, the pockets, everything on the table feels right. The way the balls move, the weight of them. They've done an amazing job. But
only
like
thing-
you
the
say,
thing that's hard to sort of work out is how you apply power to the ball and stuff. And
yeah,
remember
you
when
see,
I
I've
d- I
got
did
used to that.
I did that
Yeah.
break off, and there was like
Yeah.
input lag. It wasn't me; it was the controller that
Yeah,
got messed
yeah.
up and stuff. So there is a few little bits and bobs. But I honestly don't have any beef with the developer. I think they're going to do a good job. I
Yeah.
just think it's the platform, VR as a platform. But
Yeah.
and I've said this for years. To be fair, it's just limited. Like it's just limited.
It
in what
is.
It can do.
There are limitations, but like I say, I think, me personally, I think they've got around nearly all of those. It's just that, like
But
you say,
but
that
the one that they
weird
haven't
queuing
is
action.
the
Yeah.
absolute
It's the one that
fundamental
matters.
the weird queuing
like
action.
of what billiard sports is all about, which is cue action. So
Yeah.
So would you say, Chinny, this is in the top half or the bottom half of the VR games you've played?
I don't know. I still think like poker's like the best thing I've ever played. I mean, Stu said you prefer this over the darts and stuff.
Oh,
but
definitely, because it takes longer to play a game, doesn't it? And there's more
yeah, there's
more skill involved.
There's a bit more to it. I didn't hate it. I would play it again and stuff, but I just feel like it's not.
I did think
It's not
as
giving
you
me what
got
I want. Like
I did think as you got used to it, you'd probably enjoy it more. Once you got used to adapting to the weird queuing
we
action.
played
you'd
like
be-
5 racks, so
Yeah, we did.
So
Yeah, we
I had
did.
enough time to get used to it, but it's just I just found it a little bit like I can't. It's frustrating. Do you know what I mean? I can't do what I can do. Like
Yeah.
that's really annoying.
You see, I don't play as often as you, so for me, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's fine. I can adapt to this. This
For
is
me,
okay.
like most shots that I could do them on a pool table, especially American pool tables. Their pockets are like buckets. Like
Yeah, they're bigger as well.
I love playing on American pool tables. They're so good, and I just
Everything's
can't.
bigger in America.
Yeah, and
Because these are it's 8 foot, isn't it? An American
yeah,
pool
or
table?
9x4 or 8x4. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but also it's see the way the pockets of the jaws and the knuckles and the pocket are sharp on an
Yeah.
American table,
Yeah.
and that's why basically you can hit the cushion halfway down and it still goes in. But on a British pool table or a snooker table or a Chinese pool table, the knuckles are curved, which makes the pockets
Yeah.
tighter because they bounce out.
But it's all about pool in America. It's all about potting as fast as you can, isn't it? So a lot of it's all this
Yeah.
You know, how quickly can you pop the balls?
It's
And
it's the speed the
rules
racks
are
up.
made
It's
to-
the speed the racks
yeah,
up.
the
so-
rules are made for you to pop quickly.
Yeah, and to
Well,
make
no.
it not boring. Whereas British people
Yeah.
don't. British they didn't care about that much. in
Yeah, there's no
snooker.
safety playing this. It's like pot 'em as quick as you
Yeah,
can.
snooker's like, let's slow the game down, right? And
Yeah.
if somebody does any more noises than coughing, then they're out the fucking room. Whereas in America, when they play pool, they're just fucking hooping and hollering. They don't give a shit.
Especially when Happy Gilmore starts getting into pool. On news from Duke's grading process, this student just described Rambo as delightful. And I'm like, okay, look, you can like the Rambo movies if you want to. They're not delightful. That's not the right word.
I love the way he blew that
I
bloke's leg off with a
He's
with
such
a
a
machine.
fun guy.
Yeah, just to finish off, by the way, I do think this should be on the main story. It's definitely good
Yes,
enough
you mentioned
to be on there.
Also,
so it's
it was
great.
a fucking pain in the ass to buy.
Yeah, you
buy
struggled
the-
to buy it,
because
didn't you?
because I have never ever had an issue buying anything on the Oculus
Yeah.
store. Right, to
Right.
make this clear, because my card is on there, and if I want to buy something, I click it, it's done. Right.
Yeah.
This game goes, we can't accept your card because we need you to add PayPal to your account.
Ugh. What?
So then
really?
So then I was like, right, how do
That's
I add it?
crazy.
And Stu was like, well, you do it on the app, of course. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna fucking go on the app. And then I do that. I don't log into PayPal very often. It goes, you've got to reset your password because you haven't logged in for so long. Oh, fuck you. So I do that.
Yeah.
Texts me a code. I put the code in, and then it gets me to change the password. Texts me another code. I'm like, how many fucking?
Okay,
I've
to be fair, this isn't a problem. I mean, the fact that they wouldn't take your card is messed up. The fact that you had to reset your PayPal account, that's not this game's fault.
It is.
No, I said that.
It's really
I said the
not.
exact same thing, dude, at the time.
I mean, look, it is bogus that they wouldn't take your card. That's just stupid. I've never heard of a game platform accepting one kind of payment for one game and a different kind of payment for another game. That's stupid.
It's something about being outside the EU. So basically,
Yeah.
it's Boris's
Oh,
fault.
so it's Boris Johnson's fault.
Yeah. Fuck's sake.
Yikes.
There you go. See, that might be the
There you
thing
go.
on the Oculus in general. Maybe they've just changed it. I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe.
Anyway, it's okay.
Anyway, moving
You like
on.
it-
Yeah,
you
let's
like
move
it
on.
more than me, Stu. But if
I like it
anybody-
more than you.
If anybody wants to play Black Hole Pool VR with me or Stu,
Black Hole Pool.
We will play. We'll play. I was saying, if we can
Stu
get
wants
enough
a
people.
tournament, but I
I
think
want a
it's
knockout tournament. Let's get.
I think that
let's
is
get it
ambitious.
thing,
That
yeah.
you
Let's
that
do
many
it.
people are going to commit to fucking buying and
I
playing
don't
this
know.
game.
I don't know. It's cheap. It's $7.99, by the way. It's not a huge amount of cash.
Ian Williams in the chat says the constant advert on YouTube would annoy the hell out of him, but you can sign in and play.
No,
a
no.
video.
Once you've signed in, it's fine. It's just because he's not signed into YouTube. So once you sign in, you can just play whatever you want on it.
Yeah. So there you go.
So there you go. So that's fine.
Lovely.
But yeah, it's cool. Get people
All right,
buy
we're
it.
done
Let's
with
get a
Paul.
tournament.
What-
Tournament.
Next. What we doing?
Next. I don't know. Go on, you go, Chinny. You've got more stuff to talk about.
Okay, I played a game called Windjammers 2.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Do we know what Windjammers is?
Nope.
No. It sounds like a. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Windjammers 1.
Sounds like log jammers from the Big Lebowski.
I
Go on.
think I'm not completely sure. It's more of an American thing, Windjammers.
Okay.
It didn't really do anything over here in the UK, and I know the people at Giant Bomb seem to like Windjammers. They always bang on about it.
I'm sorry. This is apropos of nothing. I went looking for Windjammers 2, and there's, of course, it says save 10% on Windjammers 2 on Steam. And then it says, because I guess, Google just lists for places you can buy stuff. It says $17.99 in stock. Oh, thank God it's in stock
Oh,
at
thank
Steam.
God.
It's so annoying when they're out
So-
of stock.
Oh yeah.
So let
Sorry,
me
go ahead.
let me describe what Windjammers is. You ready?
Yes. I'm looking at it.
This is from a point of view of somebody who's never played it before. It's a mix of Pong, Frisbee, Street Fighter, volleyball, and air hockey.
Wow.
It looks like Pong.
So it's like this like mad sport where it's kind of Pong, but instead of a bloody shape, you're
What's
a person.
this on, by the way? What
So
are you
this is
playing
on
this
Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
This is on
Game
everything.
Pass, it's on
This is
Steam,
on
it's on
everything. And this is a sequel to like a 20-year-old, or I think it's older than that. I think it's really, really old. Duke, how old's the first one? Could you find that out for me?
I will find it out.
So you can pick characters. So like Street Fighter, you play like an arcade mode, and everybody's like from a different country. and it's like Pong in the sense that you are trying to bat away, in this case, the frisbee, not a ball, to the other side.
The original came out in 1994.
Yeah, 1994. And I think it came out on an arcade or some sort of indie. I don't know what it came out.
Neo Geo.
Neo
apparently.
Geo. There you go.
There you go.
So it's a very sort of niche game, and the aim is to get your frisbee past the other person on the other side. That's it. The arcade mode is exactly like Street Fighter. Like you go to other countries or things and you battle them out on the frisbee yard or whatever. And
frisbee yard.
But imagine like the barrier. You know, if you get the frisbee past them, sections of the line that's past them is yellow, and you get 3 points if it goes past them. So if you score in the yellow zone, 3 points. If you score in the red zone, which is often quite small, you get 5 points. So that's cool. That's something different. And there's lots of different moves you can do. So you could like sort of like tennis, where you can lob and you can even jump in the air, catch the frisbee if it's flipped up. You can slam it down. You can curve the frisbee. You can do super moves. You've got a charging gauge where you can do all sorts of mad shit. Yeah, I mean, it feels like back in the day. If this game feels like a passion project, like no one brings back a game from that far back.
Yeah, sorry, just a little bit of history here.
Yeah,
Giant Bomb started regularly playing the game on this from Wikipedia, playing the game on camera in 2013, eventually giving it their old Game of the Year award, and then in 2017 it also had a runner-up for that same title. 2018 it appeared in the Evolution Championship Series annual fighting game championships
Evo,
in Las
yeah.
Vegas
So, yeah.
as a side tournament.
So it's got this sort of weird like resurgence
Cult
of
following,
people
yeah.
liking it. It's but it's not bad. You know, I was at first I was like, I don't know, like this feels like a game that I'm gonna be shit at, and that is still true. But in the way that like, I play Street Fighter, and I think,
right,
how far down the rabbit hole do I go on this? Because I like Street Fighter. The last one that I really liked was 4. But if I keep playing it, then I've got to get good at it. And I know that I'm not going to be as good as the people that I'll come across online. And that's what
it's
this
got
feels
7.
like.
It's got 79% at Metacritic, which is
it's good.
Kind of
It's good.
surprising
It's
for me,
polished.
but
It's fun. It's colorful.
people like it, and the reviews, the reviews say that like it's a classic game in its general approach.
Yeah,
because it's stripped down, but it does what it does very well, and like it's fun even when you're getting crushed by other people. So.
Yeah, it's
or you're learning at least.
Yeah, and like I was playing the AI, so you know, you've got like people that you play through, and then you've got the final boss, as it were. And it took me a while to get to the final boss. And then
does he have 4 arms? Like in
no,
Mortal
he doesn't.
Kombat?
It's not Goro. No. So I got to the final boss, who kind of looked like Bruce Lee a little bit, and I was 1 point away from winning the game, and I lost. And it was so infuriating that I wanted to play it again. So it does have this sort of factor of like, I might play it again. I might play it again. So look, Windjammers 2 is a thumbs up from me. I really enjoyed it. It's easy to pick up, but sort of hard to master. But I feel like people that button bash and just try and fumble their way through it could probably quite be successful, like they would be in Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat as well. I really like it. I would love to play some people that I know on Windjammers and give them a game. I imagine this game was great for sort of in the same room battles, you know, like with your friends and so on. But it is a game that completely missed me. I have no idea about the history of it and stuff. So for somebody who's come at it as a complete newcomer, I think it's really, really good, and I enjoyed it. So I encourage other people to play it if you kind of like that vibe of like old Street Fighter-esque volleyball frisbee stuff, and give it a go, because it is a cool thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it does look quite impressive.
Yeah.
I've only played one other thing, and it came up at the bottom of Black Hole Pool. It's like, have you tried this game?
Black Hole Pool.
And it was air hockey.
Well,
So I was
okay,
like,
similar type of game.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll give it a go. It was free, you know. This is kind of more of a demo than a full game. There is a multiplayer, but it's not very well
So this
implemented.
is air hockey VR.
Air hockey VR, and it feels exactly like air hockey in VR. It does what it says on the tin.
Well, the problem with air hockey, which Windjammers figured out, is pretty boring after a while.
It is, and that's a problem, right? Pool, I could probably play all day without any problem. I'll just keep racking it up and keep playing because every game's different.
And also, it's satisfying to pop balls.
It is. This, it's okay. Do you know what? They've done a pretty good job of it.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. But they put your avatar at the other side.
Oh, yeah.
So it's your avatar that plays you. And a couple of times, the avatar just didn't do how it just sort of stood there looking at the puck. So I had to reset the game and start again because he just didn't hit it.
That's the ultimate protest.
It is. The physics feel fine. You know, it works.
You mean they could emulate a very slidey disc around a table?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
But you can't lift the paddle off the table or any of that malarkey. It's stuck on the table, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. There's not a lot more to say about it.
This
really.
video that you've linked to, I thought it was just some gameplay because it was just a very standard, like, let's play this game.
Yeah.
And it's a bloody trailer.
Is it? Is that the trailer?
Well, it's like,
I didn't
coming
know.
soon.
It's the first thing I found.
Jesus.
The first thing I found.
This is the trailer.
It's like you're in some sort of dodgy youth club playing, by the way, or a youth hostel.
Well, you got to make some building somewhere.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it works. It's a hockey. It's boring after 5 minutes. so the demo was fine.
So
it's funny, isn't it? Air hockey is such a weird game because it takes so much. You have a table with like jets in it and this puck that just hovers there. And then like you said, after about like 3 or 4 points, you're like, okay.
But you see, the interesting thing about air hockey is most of the time you find them in arcades. And you have one game every blue moon, don't you, with someone because it's like, oh, air hockey, let's have a go.
Right.
And you pay your
It's so satisfying to like slam it in.
Yeah.
And when you get it in, the sound, the thunk of it. But most of the time it's just clack, 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 clack.
They've got all that.
And
I mean, the sound effects are pretty good. You can turn the lighting down if you want it to be a bit more intimate. You know,
wow. You can turn the lighting down.
You can have it a bit darker in the room. But it's fine. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's. I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just hockey in VR. It's fine.
Yeah.
It was free, so I'm not complaining because I didn't pay anything for it. And that's it for me this week. That's everything.
Cool.
That's it. Chinny, back over to you. I can see you've still got a couple of things to talk about.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
I know he's played loads of stuff this week.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Okay. Yes, I've played something else. I've played a game called Superliminal.
Yeah, I played this. I thought you'd already played
Yeah,
this.
I played it too.
It might have been Duke that I knew. Someone. I thought you'd played
I did
this.
play this, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Oh, wait, no. I never did play this. I played... There was one that has a similar kind of name, but I never played this one. Go on.
Have you played it, Stu?
I don't know. I'm trying to look now. I think so. I feel like I have.
Do you know what the fuck's
I don't know. Just a minute. Let me have a
The
look.
one that you played, Stu, is it kind of like you're in a
I've
museum or
played
something?
this. Yeah, I've played this.
Antechamber is the one that I played.
Yeah, no,
I
I
have not
played
played
this. I had a few issues with this. With some of the puzzles, you could almost solve it in a way that you probably weren't meant to.
I don't know what you're talking about. So, Superliminal is a game where it's all about perspective. So, if you pick up an object that is close to you, it's a small chess piece, but you're looking at it very close. It appears very big in your vision. When you pick it up and then drop it, it's a big object because it looks big. It's quite hard to get your head around, but you change the sizes of objects depending on how far or close they are away from where you pick them up from. This then, and you can pick up objects like from across the room. It doesn't matter how far away they are. Yeah. This then creates the puzzles of, okay, so now you've got like a block and a door that is high, but it's only a small block. You need to make this block large, so therefore you need to look at it from a perspective where it appears large, pick it up, and then it becomes a large block, and then place it in the right direction, and off we go. So that's it. That's the gist of the game, it definitely is a rip-off of Portal. They never say it because there's director's commentary in the game, by the way.
Ah, okay.
Which I played.
Oh, I've never listened to this. I have played and finished it, but I never listened to it.
And they're like, we've been inspired by other game Portal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, they are putting their own twist on it, but
yes, no, I feel like
it owes a great debt to Portal.
But I feel like they just say, yeah, we fucking love Portal, we copy Portal. You know, like I don't know what else they want. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it is different enough. You know, they're not relying on that stuff. I think there's been many other rip-offs of Portal. I don't think it would be fair to call this a rip-off of Portal. It's definitely more inspired by than rip-off. But it's cool. So their aesthetic is like, imagine like a test center in the 90s. So that's why all the walls are like magnolia and horrible. And I thought it was really cool. I really liked it.
No, it's a pretty good game. I enjoyed it.
I liked it. It's
I'll tell you where I sort of found frustrating.
Yeah.
Okay, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Go on.
There's a level where you have to put 2 doors on top of each other to get to the exit. And fuck me, the amount of times I was fanning around with those doors.
2 doors.
Just to try and...
To get...
There's 2, so there's an in and an out door. And there's like the doorway out's in the middle of the wall, halfway up. And then you've got to like put the doors balanced, one obviously so you can go in it and one coming out into the hole in the wall halfway up to get out.
I literally have no idea. I played this game twice through, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's you must do. They're just doorways that you can put on top of each other.
Doorways that you can put on top of each other.
Yeah, they're like on a frame. It's like a door on a frame, and it's in a massive room. The room is huge, and you walk in one and you come out of the other. It might be. Is it like a little room? I can't remember. But you've got to balance them on top of each other because the doorway out's halfway up the wall.
You've got to balance the doors on top of each other.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. Maybe that's not what you're supposed to do, but that's what I actually did.
You got it wrong.
Well, it worked. I got through it.
Well, I'm not saying that doesn't mean you're right.
No, but that's what I did. And then
if it worked, it worked. I mean,
the other frustrating bit is you're walking down a corridor and you have to keep on doing the opposite thing to what the sign's saying to get to the exit.
That's a shitty part. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what I'm talking about there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about there, and I figured it out, and I remember thinking that's wank. Like that's a shit way of figuring that out.
No, man, it's an inversion of your expectations,
No,
and it's blowing apart your representational understanding of the world you're in.
I know what game you're thinking of there, Duke, and it only does that once, right? Like it never really does that again.
That's
like,
fine.
The only other
what
time
I'm saying
it does
though
it,
is that's okay. It's very easy for developers of games like these to start getting their heads up their own asses.
The only other time it sort of does it is like, but I feel like they earn it is. Like there's a corridor that it looks like you can go down, but it actually shrinks. It reminds me of like when they build Ned Flanders' house after the hurricane, and he walks down and he gets.
Come on in, it's your master bedroom.
Yeah, and it's like this like tiny corridor. It's exactly like that.
Class.
So that's the only shitty puzzle. I agree with that one, Stu. I don't remember.
We ran out of floorboards here, so we just painted the dirt. Pretty clever.
But like there's they talk about the story in the develop commentary thing, and I'm like, I have no idea what was going on in the story. And there's like a horror level that's pretty good, like kind of like a scary level that's quite good.
Yeah, where it's in the dark all the time.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's very good. I like this game. I think
I
it's
did.
Great.
I liked it. There was a couple,
great.
like I say, a couple of frustrating bits, but other than that, I really enjoyed it. The ending's really cool. I like the way it ended.
I didn't like the ending, but the
oh, do you know? I quite like the ending.
I think some of the coolest parts is when they play with scale. In you can go through doors and make the house that you're walking into bigger. Therefore, you're smaller, and you can move. Like it was mind blowing what they were doing, really. And you're like, hold on. So if you make the door bigger and walk through it, you're smaller. Now you're smaller.
Can I just say, by the way, this is one of those doorways on a frame that's on the screen now.
Yeah.
Well, there's a big massive room where there's two of these, and you have to stack them on top of each other.
Oh, that yes. You don't have to stack them on each top of each
Well, that's
other.
what I did.
You don't.
'cause
Have
if
Well,
to.
that sounds like one of many ways you could fix it, or one
No.
of several ways you could get out of there.
No, I know exactly what room you're talking about now. No, you basically make yourself really, really big, and drop the other door through the keyhole.
Oh, you see, I didn't even do that.
Well, it sounds like either one would work.
I
It's not
just,
like one
but
is the
I must
correct
admit,
answer.
it didn't. I'll be honest. When I did it, it didn't feel like the right solution. It felt like I'd
No.
like got there, but not really in the way it was intended.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the bit, but no, you
You
did
know,
it wrong.
you know where I mean, though. So at least
Yeah.
you know where I mean now.
So you're supposed to make yourself really big, and then drop this little one. There's a keyhole in the wall, and you drop the little one in the keyhole, then you walk through, then you appear on the other side of it.
Yeah, you see, I didn't do that. I stacked them on
Jeez.
top of it and then walked through the keyhole. That's what I did.
What can you do? You know.
Yeah, but that's what my mind came up with that solution. This is what I must do. You know, I've got to maybe stack them on top of each other. So that's what I did.
Like Pool, you are wrong.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
I can't find it on here where it is.
Well, it doesn't matter. At least I know now what I was supposed to have done, but I didn't do it.
But the crux of it is, you done fucked it, and
Well, I got
Fuck that
there.
now.
I got through, so it didn't matter.
it's amazing that you did it a completely different way.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I like the idea that there's a puzzle game you can do things different ways.
Yeah, I think this is a great.
It is. It's a good game. I liked it.
I remember seeing a GIF of this game because the GIF was like them picking up an alarm clock, like a small alarm clock, and then it became a massive alarm clock. And I remember seeing that GIF, thinking, "What game is that? I want to play that." And you know, when you see a game and you go, "I know I want to play it. I just want to play it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Superliminal was one of those games, and then as soon as it came on Game Pass, I was like, playing it.
Yeah. This is often recommended on gaming suggestions
it's
for
great.
people who like puzzle games. So.
I played this. This has been on Game Pass for ages because that's what
How
I
much is
played
it
it
on
on.
Steam though?
It's
That's
not been
the
on
real
Xbox
question.
Game Pass for ages because it's just.
Oh, might have been on the PC that I
Might be on
played it
PC,
then.
Yeah.
$11.99. Are you having a joke?
I found the room, Stu. I found the room. It's
Have you found the room?
Oh,
that's
Let's see how
40%
this
off.
dude does it.
So you'll see it, but yeah, it's
I'll
just,
see how he does it.
it's just come out on the Xbox, and yeah,
Looks like 3 hours is about average.
yeah,
For the
but 2-3
length.
hours, yeah.
Yeah, I did it in one sitting.
Yeah.
So I played it all in
I'll
one
put it
sitting.
on my wish list, but I ain't getting it right now.
Mm-hmm. It's good. Yeah. Have you not got Game
Cheap
Pass anymore,
bastard.
Duke?
Nope.
No.
I don't think it was worth it for me. I don't think if I'm gonna, it's Skyrim I already have. I don't, Rocket League. I don't play enough games. I have a million games that I already have, so there's no There's no reason for me to have it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah. So that's Superliminal. There you go. Stewie's just solved that puzzle for you.
Has he just done it? Has
yeah,
he
you'll
dropped
see
it
in
through?
about 20 seconds on your end.
Yeah, you see, I didn't do that.
Um,
I spent ages stacking them,
That's
getting them the
fine.
right size, and then stacking them on top of each other.
mhm,
That's what I did.
mhm, mhm.
I got there eventually. It took me a while though. I've got to admit.
Yeah. No, but I didn't like the ending though. I thought the ending dragged on. But there's an achievement to finish the game in under an hour, and there's an achievement to finish the game in under 35 minutes.
Right. Okay.
So I played the game again with the developer commentary, and I didn't know this, but there's an achievement to finish the game with developer commentary as well. And I did the hour one and the developer commentary one like in the same sitting.
Oh, that's cool.
So I literally just played the game, so it didn't take me. It took me like 50 minutes to finish it the second time.
My dude, that's like any game once you know the solutions. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, it was, but I still enjoyed like sort of listening to. I like a developer's commentary. I think it's fun.
But no, it's a decent game. I enjoyed it when I played it. Like I say,
There's
couple
a
of
bunch of secrets
frustrating
in the game.
moments.
Did you know this?
No, I'm
So
not shocked.
There is a ton of collectible items in the game. Every extinguisher is a collectible item. So if you extinguish every extinguisher, every fire alarm, you've got to pull every fire alarm.
Yeah, I
There's
saw
hidden-
that because
there's-
there was a progression towards an achievement for
There's
that.
hidden chess pieces everywhere, and they're so difficult to get. And there is these weird sort of like space rooms hidden everywhere, and if you find one of those, then you get an achievement. But I never did any of that. I couldn't be bothered to do that. So
Yeah, like I say, I think on the whole, it's a really well made puzzle game. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it.
Very
I
good.
liked it.
Very good. You got one more? Have you got?
Superliminal, everybody. Superliminal.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a play. I liked it. You've got one more, haven't you? You've got some Forza Horizon 5, I see on your list.
Yeah,
there.
because I've run out of games to play. Because I was like, well, I don't want to start anything now, just because I don't want to start Mass Effect 2 because I'm waiting for you. I played Superliminal. I almost played too much this week because I was like, well, if I play any more, I'm just going to keep talking about.
You played loads.
Bollocks. So I didn't play anything else. So I played more Forza Horizon 5, and I still think it's really, really good. I think it is a game where you just pick it up and give it a go, and you put it down and play something else. Like I'm not going to be playing this constantly and trying to uncover everything. It doesn't grab me the way it grabs everybody else. I still don't. I just not.
I'm the same. I much prefer the previous one.
And I
prefer 4.
You know how the game sort of compares you with everybody else. So it's like, oh, you've smashed 30 signs, and Fraser Moo has smashed 31. You've only got to smash one more, and you'll beat him. I've played this game more than a lot of people already have on my friends list because they haven't discovered as many roads as I have. So I feel like the feeling's quite mutual actually, where it's all exciting at first and it's all impressive, but maybe not many people sort of follow through and finish these games. But maybe it's not really the point. You just drive around and have fun. So yeah, more Forza Horizon 5 in the gaps between. But yeah, I've had a busy week.
You've had a good week.
Mm-hmm.
No time for news, people. We've talked about games.
Is there any?
No news this week.
A little bit.
Did any major studio publisher buy up a small?
What did Microsoft buy this week?
None of that this week. It was a pretty quiet week for news, to be fair. So
Let there be light.
Yep. So we have got a speak pipe though, so we will give that a listen. We'll give that a listen.
Okay, let's have a speak
pipe. It's the way to leave a message.
I see we get a speak pipe.
Wow.
Let me clear out some of this spam on my inbox. Oh wait, here we go. Derek Staines. Okay. I love when they go on sale. The Steam has a sale. Like, it sends me like 5 emails. This thing on your wish list is on sale. This thing on your wish list is on sale. I know. Leave me alone. Okay. Derek Sainz. Speak pipe.
Go.
Hello, veteran gamers. It's Derek Sainz again.
Hello.
After sending you an email photo last week of my PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch box games, I've taken Chinny's advice and I've started playing the Game of the Year edition of the original Red Dead Redemption, in this case on the Xbox One.
Good.
And as far as the PS4 goes, I'm going to start playing also alongside it the game Ghost of Tsushima, and for the Nintendo Switch, I'm also going to start playing in earnest Super Mario Odyssey. So there you go.
These are all good.
But talking about the Switch, it got me thinking. You don't seem to mention that much these days as regards games. So do Chinny and Stu, I believe, have got them. Do you still use your Nintendo Switch? Are you part of the Nintendo Switch online system where you can now play the N64 games? I don't think Stu's got much of an affinity for N64, but maybe Chinny does. I've just kept my yearly basic subscription for the online portion of the Switch, which is still $17.99 at the moment. So I was just interested in, do you actually play much on the Switch anymore? And one other thing, I've just been watching on YouTube a video that was uploaded on the 4th of November 2011, in which Chinny took a closer look at the first GTA 5 gameplay trailer. And I wondered, do you ever watch any of the old veteran gamers videos on YouTube? And that's it, so keep on gaming.
Keep on gaming. As far as the Switch goes, I haven't played it as much as I normally do in the last couple of years because it's what I take on a holiday with me. And although I have been away,
you go on holiday every month.
I know that is true, but normally I play it on the plane. When we go abroad, it's like sit on the plane for 2.5 hours and play some games on the Switch. Take it with me. I haven't played it as much as I have done in the last couple of years, but Kay and Adam were playing Mario Kart on it the other day, so they were playing Mario Kart all afternoon.
Kay and Adam?
No, Did I say K?
Yeah.
Sorry, Millie. I meant to say it then. Yeah, that was a bit
Oh
weird.
no, Kay and anime.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, Millie and Adam were playing Mario Kart the other day all afternoon.
Right.
So they were playing on it, and I'll be honest, it's a little bit like Chinny gets a PS like system, a Sony system, as a sort of Uncharted player.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I bought the Switch as a Bayonetta 3 player.
How's that going?
That fucking game hasn't even come out yet. So I've had this Switch now for 3 years or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, never played it. It's not happened. Still waiting. So yeah, not as much as I'd like to. Chinny, you?
No, it lives in my living room. So let me put this out there. I hate mobile gaming. Well, I like Simpsons Tapped Out, which is what I'm doing now. But I hate playing games on a mobile device, including the Switch. I'm just never as comfortable. So if I play the Switch, I want to play it TV. And I just never think to play it in the living room. I never bother. I don't know why. I always play my gamings in here. And I've got Pikmin 3 on the Switch. And I love Pikmin. And I don't know why I haven't played it. I've got Super Paper Mario, which I started. And I had no reason to put it down. I don't know. I just don't really see the Switch as like a proper platform. It's weird, isn't it? But
yeah,
I do need to rip out all the wires in this office and put them all back in and put new monitors in and stuff. So maybe I'll put the Switch up here, which will make me play it a little bit more. I just don't put it in my shit I've got to do game-wise list. But I really want to play Pikmin 3. It's like Pikmin 1 was one of my favourite Nintendo games. And as far as the Nintendo Online, I used to be on it, but I don't go on it anymore. I subscribed to it when I did like Mario Maker 2, but yeah, I stopped that now. So yeah, I
think what was cool for me the other day when I was watching, Mario Kart on the TV, it looked pretty good.
Oh yeah,
I was like, this looks pretty good. Graphically and colours were popping. It looked
colours
pretty
were
good.
popping.
The colours were popping, man. As far as going back and watching old veteran gamers videos, I don't know about you, Chinny. The only one that I've watched more than a few times is your best video games of 2011 video, which is still my favourite.
That's a good one, isn't it?
It's a fucking good one, and it's doing all right now. I mean, it's had 3,500 views, which at the beginning I was always a bit gutted because it barely got any views. You know what I mean? But it's done all right since, and if people listening have never seen it, it's so well done. Chinny did a sterling job of video game, and there was a lot of good games that year.
Yeah,
there was a lot of good games that year,
including
LA Noire, and Catherine came out that year because that's featured. What a game!
I think the only game I didn't put in that somebody was pissed off about was The Witcher 2.
All right, okay.
Somebody says, "Where's The Witcher 2?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the only one." I tried
from
really
Bristol?
hard. I tried really, really hard to put like every good game from 2011, which in 2014 or 2020 or 2021 that would be very easy to do because there's like 4 games.
Yeah,
right?
That year was a good year.
But like it was a plethora. It was
an
orgy of fantastic games. 2007, 2008, 2009, 10, 11. 15, that was Metal Gear Solid 5, Witcher 3, Fallout 4.
Yeah, that was a good year.
18, God of War, Red Dead 2, Spider-Man,
But yeah, it's worth, if you've never seen it, go and have a look. It's a great video. It's good. It's only 2.5 minutes, but
I sometimes watch the
well done.
I sometimes watch the EGX ones.
They're quite fun to watch.
And
especially the old ones.
I've still got the 2019 EGX.
I know, that's just crazy.
And you know what? This is going to sound really sad.
Is it because it's got Gary on it? Is that what's putting you off?
When I open the file during lockdown, literally the first person I point the camera on, the first file is Gary.
Do you know what, though? I think it would be a nice...
I know, Stu. I know it would, and I will do it, but... It was just when he died as well.
Yeah.
And I was just so upset about it. And I was like, I don't want to do it. I can't look at him. I just feel so sad because Tara and I have like Chromecast on our TV, so all our photos pop up on TV. Like we had all our photos on the Chromecast and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes photos of EGX pop up, and sometimes Gary pops up, and it's just so sad, and I get so sort of upset about it.
Yeah, that is sad.
But
Agreed.
I mean, obviously time helps, and I feel like that's not an excuse anymore, and it would be nice to see that footage again, and it would be nice to do something where we put Gary in and we can see the last one. But it's such a sad story. Like, imagine I make it and it's fun and we have fun and it's going to be great. It's still going to be sad no matter what because Gary's in it. It's always going to be sad. So
yeah,
it's just a tough one. And
Agreed.
yeah, and I do miss. And we had such a laugh with Gary that weekend as well.
We did.
It was so
we
good.
did.
And I know I owe it to him really to do it. I've got footage on my computer that nobody has seen of Gary.
It would be a good tribute to Gary, and I think you should
that's
do
wrong,
it.
really. I should be putting it out there, but
you
it
should
was just
definitely do
when
it.
I opened it. It was just when he died, and I was like, "I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it." And he was the first person I saw, and I was like, "No, I can't do it." And I closed it. I just couldn't do it.
The other, just going somewhere funnier and more fun, I guess. The other video that always makes me smile is Chinny on Dance Central in 2010.
2010.
That's so long ago.
I think a lot of people watch the one where we all three of us meet. I think a lot of people like that one.
That gets watched a lot.
That one does well. Like considering it's I mean it's only done a few hundred, but considering it's just a video about us meeting, like that's done all right, and it's quite well put together as well. I don't really watch any the playthrough. It'd be interesting to watch like a playthrough. I think all of the Witcher playthrough is on there. It'd be interesting to
and
watch
Skyrim. Didn't you do Skyrim?
Yeah, I did Skyrim as well. So it's just like it'd be weird to watch them again. But I lose weight gradually as I play The Witcher because it's the time when I lost all that weight for my wedding. So I watch the EGX ones now and again. But yeah, they're good. If anybody hasn't watched stuff on our YouTube channel,
go and give it a watch. Some of the old stuff is quite funny.
The new stuff is shit.
New stuff terrible.
But it's all just this now. Like
it's just the podcast, and you did like there's a lot of your snooker videos in when you were doing.
Well, I've took a few of them off as well.
Yeah. Arcade Club, that was quite fun. There's an arcade club video.
I should do more really. But I don't know.
Time, man. It's time.
There's only so much time.
There's only so much time. But thank you, Derek, for that.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah, thanks, Derek.
Is that it? Are we done? Shout outs time, is it?
I guess so.
Yes. So I don't know.
It's time for a shout out. Hey,
Duke.
Yeah, I will go first because I have some shout outs, and here they are in no particular order. First of all, John Mouse, go to the toilet. I posted a thing about teaching, and I always forget that he's a teacher. So when he responds to a teaching thing, I'm always like, oh yeah, that's right, he's a teacher. I don't know why I forget about it.
Well, you look at him and you think, I don't know whether I want my kids being teach. Yeah, what's he doing teaching my kids? What's going on?
I think it's more because I got to know him through video games, and then he became a teacher. So anyway, Brian is my Twitter BFF. He, I posted something about having a hard day, and he sent me a very nice personal message, and I really appreciate that, Brian. So, it's just one of those things. I don't know. My brain chemistry is weird. I mean, everybody's is, I suppose, but like I have these swings sometimes. It's kind of like once a month or once every 2 months where the objective reality of being a teacher is always kind of stressful. So it's weird to me when things get bleak for no real reason. I mean, it's usually around the start of the semester. I guess it's not the no real reason. It's usually because of high stress. But anyway, for whatever reason, it plummeted this past week. I had a couple of really hard days, and it switched back to manic just as quickly as it went down to depressive. So I wish I could explain why it happens. The good news is that I know I just have to ride out the depressive moments, and I'll get back to manic soon enough, because I'm lucky in that I do spend most of my time in the upside of the whole experience. But I'll say this, the best thing about the internet is that if you're having a hard time like that, you can put out a tweet, and, hopefully, if you have good people following you, you'll get some messages of support, and that really does mean a lot. So thank you, everybody who sent
I do
those.
the right thing and suppress it, Duke.
Yeah, well, there's that. And Antonio talked to me about moving from Spotify to another service. So I'm not sure if we're going to do that. Who knows? But I appreciate him letting me know about the software because that's always good to have that knowledge about what's out there. So cheers, mate and mates and everybody listening and everybody joining us on the live chat and Derek for sending the speak pipe and the people that I'm responding to furiously about union stuff. Even though I didn't see their email for like 4 days. I'm sorry.
I know somebody who works for Amazon, Duke. And he's like, not just like a drone. He's like a management sort of guy, like in HR, I think. And I was like, let your workers unionize. It's like the unions won't do fuck all anyway. What's the point? So I wondered what your response was to that.
Well, if he's management, of course he's going to say that, but that's not what the people who work at Starbucks are saying. They all want a union, and as somebody who has a union, I really like having a union. And
do they have any power?
They have some power, but the fact that the governor destroyed the power of the union 10 years ago, that made it very hard for us. But we still have the ability to do some things. And so it's a matter of getting that power back. Yes, and it's frustrating that there isn't very much power for unions, but that's not a problem with the unions. That's a power with the governments having spent, in the United States ever since 1980. And really the modern era started with Thatcher destroying unions over there. It's a concerted effort for decades of destroying unions and getting people to think that unions are useless when they are not. They do help people. Standards of living tend to fluctuate with union membership. So,
well, they held that little woman in the UK who couldn't drive her buses anymore. So they sorted that shit out.
Talking about.
So basically, there was a bus driver. She was the first woman.
Explanation. But...
Well, look, you're talking about unions. I'm about to tell you a good thing they've done, and now you're just dissing
Tell me about it. Go ahead.
Just say it. Say it.
Go ahead. Tell. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So basically, there was a bus driver in the UK, and she was 5'2", and she was the first lady bus driver in this particular depot. Cool. And they changed the buses in such a way that when they manufactured the new ones, she couldn't use the rear view or the side mirrors anymore because she was too small. And then they tried to sack her and basically say, well, you're not fit to, you can't drive the buses safely anymore. So, we'll offer you this other job, which was less hours and less pay, but it wasn't driving buses.
Right.
And she was like, well, I don't really want that job. So they had this massive argument. The unions got involved. It went on for ages. It was probably about 12 months. On and off, going on and on and on and on. Mm-hmm. And eventually they just said, oh, well, if you work in this other depot, they've still got the old buses and you can still drive them from there instead. And you don't have to come into this depot in the morning first thing. So you don't cause you any extra traveling time. But part of me was like, why didn't they fucking just do that in the first place?
Well, exactly. Yes, I agree. And that's, I think, the power of the union is to get the management to do the thing that they knew they should have done to begin with. But it just, it wasn't the easiest thing to do. It's much easier to just sack her. And I'm glad you told me about that. I'm sorry I was dismissive. You're right. I'm trying to do 6 things and I shouldn't be doing that, but I've got these things I need to deal with, whatever. But here's the thing. She's probably not the only person in that kind of situation. In other words, if there's someone who's disabled, then they deserve the same rights to do jobs as other people can. And so the fact that they built the bus in such a way that shorter people can't see the mirrors, that might be a problem. Or at the very least, there's ways to adjust and provide, different forms of technology so that people can drive the buses, even if they're not 7 feet tall or whatever it is. So that's one of the things that unions do, is to say, we demand justice in the employment and in the ways in which our workplaces are structured. But it's an uphill climb, no doubt about it.
Yeah. But at least you got a little victory there.
You're right. That is good, and I'm glad to hear that. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Have you done with your shout outs, Duke? Sorry, I asked about you.
I'm done.
I want to shout out Mr. Steve, because I've been
I was going to shout out Mr. Steve.
I was going to shout out Mr. Steve.
I've been telling everybody about Mr. Steve's.
That's me.
Mr. Steve's
massive property,
and I'm fascinated with it. And then in the Discord chat, we have a Discord, by the way, if you want to join. In the Discord chat, I said to Mr. Steve, "Oh, you should be vlogging it. You should be like documenting progress, like blah 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 blah." speak to me if you want tips. It's fine. And like make a little vlog about it. Doesn't have to be this big polished production. Just get it done. And he says, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking about doing it actually." I was like, well, "You do it." So I've been telling everybody about it. I was like, "Look at this thing that he bought. This is so cool. I want one."
It is cool.
Yeah,
I want one.
yeah. You could fit like 4 snooker tables in there. That's my running joke. Whenever we see a house that we like, we go, "You could fit a snooker table in there." Yeah. So shout out to him. Shout out to random man at the car wash.
Wow, interesting.
Because I was at the car wash because I'm lazy, right?
No, I do the same. I'll be honest.
And I was getting it like valeted, like a mini valet, right? Because it hadn't been hoovered or anything for ages, and I was like, I ain't doing it, right? Okay, these guys do it. There's the guy who also had his car valeted next to me, and he needed a hand getting his dog, who was like a puppy, his puppy was in this cage in the boot, and he couldn't lift it out of the boot because he's got like deformed hands. Like he hasn't got like fingers on one hand, he's got like a thumb, and like maybe 2 fingers and a thumb on the other hand, so it's like a birth defect or something, right? So he can't really pick up large objects. So the guy picked it up for him. I wasn't involved. He picked it up, brought it over where I was standing, and I was like talking to him about this puppy and stuff, and then he mentioned like the Xbox, and me and him talked for fucking ages about Red Dead, about Halo, and how he's not a big Halo fan. He doesn't like Halo 1, 2, and 3, but he likes 4 and 5 and the new one. And then I said, "You're dead to me." And then I said, like, his missus prefers the old Red Dead, and I said she's wrong, and then all this sort of stuff. And I was like, I was sad that my car had been finished, right? I was like, oh no, my car's done. I have to like depart from this guy that I've just really gone on with. So I never told him that I did a podcast because that would be weird. But shout out to that guy.
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
Shout out to that random guy who I bonded with. And I was getting on like a fucking house on fire with this guy.
It's like your new best mate.
I know. I said, like, I feel sad that
What's your number?
My car said, do you want to go for a pint?
Yeah, bromance.
All right. It's like, but I'll never see him again, probably. But he was a nice guy. And it was just nice to have a nice conversation with a stranger about video games. And he was like, yeah, I don't like Halo 3. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Why don't you like Halo 3? And he's like, well, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it was, so shout out to that guy. I liked him. He was a cool guy. And his puppy was very, very cute. So there you go. Shout out to that guy.
Very good, very good. Well, I'm also going to shout out Mr. Steve.
You can't do a double shout.
Well, I fucking am do because I was doing it anyway. Because his fucking his flipping house is ridiculous.
It is crazy, isn't it?
It's
so
just
cool.
sheer madness.
It's so cool.
So yeah,
I'm very
love that.
jealous.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how this works out. I mean, his cinema room alone is ridiculous. I looked at that and I thought that is so fucking cool. Even all the plaster coving on the ceiling and stuff. And like, there's some nice details there, you know. But
lovely.
I'll be honest, I look at it and partly think, fuck me, that is a money pit. You know, the amount of cash you'd have to spend on that to make it look cool.
Yeah, but like if you turn
it
it into like a project that you're just going to do for the rest of your life.
Oh, definitely, that's what you'd have to do.
Then it doesn't really become a money pit, does it? Because you're just like, well, I'm just going to do it and keep doing it, and eventually 10 years will just pass, and it'll just be like most of it done, you know, barring a few things. So I don't know. Time's ruthless, isn't it? So if you just chip away at it over time, it'll be great. But you definitely need a progress of it. Don't you agree, Stu?
Yeah. Apparently,
need video documentation.
Apparently, he's done it but he hasn't put a link.
Oh right.
So in the Discord, he's put. Let me just say, 2 views. Look at me already, a YouTube star.
No. He's talking about I would watch it, and like somebody else would watch it. So.
Yeah, right. Well, you need to get on that shit, and we want to see progress.
Just film stuff with your phone. You don't have to talk or whatever. Just film stuff now.
As you do it, you know, as stuff's changing,
it'll be gone otherwise. So yeah, you've got to get it done.
Yeah, we need some video account of your
if you need any advice, let me know.
Of your huge building.
It's fine, but just start filming stuff.
Yeah. I think that's it. Is it? Are we done?
I think we're done.
I think we're done.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you just switch off your television set and go do something less boring instead? Sitting at home, watch TV, turning on so good to me. Won't you? Why don't you?
Absolutely cool. Hey, by the way,
I
dude.
got some papers graded.
Guess
Not as many as I
what,
should, but
dude?
It's okay. What?
I think I'm gonna do another hip hop mix this week. I've only ever done one.
Oh yeah.
Are you still broadcasting, Chinny? Because obviously I don't want to get copyright strikes.
I am, but I'll mute you. So then, like.
Hey, there's some good commercial hip hop. What is it?
It's Will Smith. Mercy, mercy, mercy me. I like Summertime. Did he do Summertime? That's a great song. By Ian Williams. Yep, yep. No diggity, no doubt. Play on, player. Play on, player. Yo, Dre, drop the verse. Gonna get down, go to low. Remember him from Blackstreet? He was black as the street was. I never be laid back as this beat was. Kanye. Can I request a tune? Can you put a Kanye West song on there for me? Well, I have many that I like. I think. Let me. I have ones that like maybe not a lot of people would know, but let me. Hold on. What's going on? Yeah. No. You could if you could remix that in between them, that would be good. That would be good. Yeah, I would enjoy that. So one of my favorite songs. Yeah, go on.
Is that what that is, Stu?
Yeah.
Huh.
Look at Stu's concentration face.
I know, right? He can't flinch.
I can't know.
Alright.
You just sort of like. Stu. How was scratching invented, Duke? Yeah. Definitely. So, Stu, can you put Kanye West song called Gone? Gone. I love that song. Because he's rich now. Yeah, but he wasn't rich. He wasn't rich. He wasn't rich here, Duke. He was rich here, but he wasn't rich here. He's rich here now. What Kanye West songs have you got? And then I'll pick one of those. Go on.
Boy, obviously. Let's
That's
just
a
go
great
down.
song. That's a great song.
Yeah, he hasn't got Gone.
Okay. Read out some ones. Go on.
Ghost Town, Gifted, Glow, Grammy Family. Don't know what that is, DJ Khaled or something. Guilt Trip, Hold My Liquor.
Hold My Liquor's good.
I Thought About Killing You. I'm In It. What else we got? Jukebox Joints. I don't
Some
know
of
what
these
that
are
is.
probably like new albums, which I don't know as well. But
Yeah. New Slaves, No Mistakes.
yeah, I don't like New Slaves really.
On Site. What else?
These
I'm
are all
just
new.
looking.
These are
I'm
all
trying to
new.
look for Kanye West only. Send It Up.
No.
What else we got? Violent Crimes. You see, there's not a whole lot because he's obviously mainly dance music, but they do have some hip hop stuff on, but not loads. That's about it, really, to be honest.
Out of those, I would pick Hold My Liquor.
Hold My Liquor. Let's have a listen. B, C, D, E, F, G,
While he's doing that,
A,
on
H.
the
Hold My
game-
Liquor.
It's BioShock, isn't it? Really, I suppose. Over. I'm over. On ya. One more fuck and I can own ya. No. Yeah, that's okay. That's Nina Simone sample, but go on. No, I don't really like that one. Don't know what that is. Ballin'. Have you got flashing lights? It's not on there. Flashing light. Well. Assassin's Creed, the Assassin's Creed 2 games are kind of conspiracy based, Duke. I would say. LA Noire, you're uncovering a conspiracy? LA Noire? Um, Max Payne, Duke. Yeah. Dishonored. Perfect Dark. In Tomb Raider, in Tomb Raider 3, in Tomb Raider 3, you go to Area 51 and find the UFO. Okay. See you later.
And we will see you in 7 days.
We will.
Bye bye.